Oh shoot! Hold on. God damn it! Oh god damn it! I was muted the whole time. Down. What an epic fail! Shit. Okay. let me say this right. Fuck. So shout outs to K Marion, keep it short. I was saying a lot of good positive things about all you guys, by the way. I can't believe I was fucking muted the whole time for a good 5 minutes. Shout outs to K Marion, thank you for tuning in. Shout outs to Be Easy, that dude, the guy with the smoothest voice in the knowledge and relationships platform. AR, salutes to you, my brother. Yo, good stream. Okay, you have like a professional woman talking about relationships. Normally, I'm not really into like dating coaches, but she was more like a relationship, advisor, basically. So definitely good job, man. I also followed her as well too. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. Everything you said was muted. Now we hear DJ A King's beats. Yeah, okay. Your stream is off timing. You may have to go in and out, Mr. M3. Am I still muted? Now we can hear. Okay. Only the music eventually kicked in, so it. Okay. All right. So as long as you guys could hear, okay, that's good. Let me do one more sound check real quick. Okay, hold for 1 second. All right, cool. So everything is all good now. All right, that kind of killed a little bit of momentum, but I was fired up, man, shouting everybody else out, man, and saying a lot of good things. Just too bad you guys would never know what I said. All right, but yeah, man. Anyways, though, tonight, we're gonna be having a topic. And the topic for this one, let me go ahead and pull up, is when all else fails, should we allow the streets to step in for our communities? You know what I mean? So basically, when in the black community, right? When we allow so much to go so far, to the point where our elders can't even speak to the young folks, where the people in the communities get gunned down just by trying to do the right things. And everyone's so afraid, to really put the sense into our communities. So, sorry about that. So, do we take it to the streets? Look, I was well, hold on. Before I even get into this topic real quick, I I forgot. This is what I was gonna say, right? I know this is gonna be off topic, right? But I want to just do like a shout outs to AMS, the legend. Earlier, I was on his live stream, and I got a chance like to kind of speak and to pretty much, people say, give flowers to the people while they're still here. Well, I got a chance to pretty much pass the beers to him because I ain't gonna give no dude no flowers, all right? But it was good to actually, be on Alpha Male Strategies, a platform that really taught me how what it means to self improve, the benefits of creating your own value, and not allow other people, not trying to get the validation from folks. So I want to make sure that I don't forget to say that because I was going to say that until I found out I was muted. So that was my fault for not looking at the chat, but. So I just want to say definitely, big salutes to AMS. If you ever decide to follow me or you're watching me, definitely, hopefully this will inspire you and definitely keep up the good work. So peace, Michael, for thank you for tuning into the chat. Everybody, please, do me a favor and also get the lights up for our platform. And also don't forget to follow our other platforms like DJ Eddie King and the Intellectual Soapbox. So definitely, show your support, to our channels as well too. And also have a channel called M3 TV Network. Right now, it's supposed to be all about M3, but I've been just covering a bunch of new stuff for now. So I get it together. But for now, Knowledge Relationships is home. This is where the family comes and they build. So, anyways, let's get back to the topic. So how do you feel, right? When the community gets so bad that now, you got to take it to the streets. And you got to take it to a whole different level. It reminds me of the show, and check this out. It's called like a Million Little Things, I believe. Like you could watch that on Hulu. I advise you to take a look at it. It's a really good show. It has 4 seasons so far, but and it's a little bit spoiler. But in one of the episodes, there was like a male teacher that did something, and it was just kind of like a little exploitation, but nothing to a high degree. But it really affected this young girl mentally. I'll just say it like that because I don't want to give everything away. And as a guardian or a parent, it's hard to, see like your kid go through these type of things. Or what's worse, you never know what these young teenagers are going through until they delete themselves. And so, the point is like having so much anger that's built up inside of you, you try to go to the justice system to try to get this guy prosecuted. But when all else fails within the community, within the justice system, what else what other options do you have left? So now it's like you got to take it to, the Dark Knight type of level, the Batman way, Now, of course, Batman never really, delete anybody. He's not all about that. But it's like, but you have to still take justice in your own hands. And when you do that, how you gonna operate that? So people in the chat, feel free to let me know what you think of everything that I'm saying. What do you think about when people they take it to the streets? And how does it affect the communities? Because, when there's an all-out war, what can you do about that? Are you going to sit there and allow your community to be destroyed? And then BE says, there's a dark Batman that does not, there's a dark Batman that does not delete. I said that does delete, he says. My bad, I read that wrong. There's a dark Batman that does delete. Yeah. Because when all else fails, it's what you going to do? But see, the thing is, once you take justice in your own hands, It's like, are you going to be able to sleep at night? Is it going to further affect your mental? Is it going to affect your conscience? Some people may not have a conscience, and that might be a good thing. You know, and then for others, like they do, and it really eats them up alive. You feel me? So let me go ahead and bring a special dude up in here. Be easy, that dude. What up, my brother? How you doing, Be Easy? Be Easy, you're still muted.
Hold up 1 second, bro.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, man. Um, yeah, man. Sometimes, man, it's hard, man, especially when you're a part of something, or you feel like you're stuck in something, and then like there's no
What's up
further
with it?
improvement. What's up, Be Easy? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm straight. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear, man. Like you sound like you're in the studio, bro.
you
got the
I'm in here
reverb.
cooking up.
Okay. I feel you, bro. Be Easy, man. What you
All right,
think
hold on.
about
How
that?
is it now? Do it still
No,
got the reverb?
no. You good, bro. I was just messing with you.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, M3, you do it all, huh? Comedian, report the news. You feel me?
Hey, man, I try to be a jack of all trades, bro. You feel me?
I appreciate that, man. I commend that. And just to say something earlier, I don't say give a man his flowers, because I think of it as a technical term, right? In M3, if I want to show you respect, I'll give you respect, reverence, but I ain't gonna give you flowers, right? I'll give you a dap, you know what I mean? So I don't use that term. I think reference and deference is enough, you know what I mean? But I just don't believe in giving a man his flowers, because I know it's a cliche term that everyone says, but realistically, I would never give him. I don't see any, you know what I mean? Like, let's say a dude bought you a Lamborghini. Would you be like, man, I'm gonna go get this man some flower? You know what I mean? There's no scenario where I would be thinking of giving a man flowers. So
right.
I don't use that term, you know what I mean? So I'm with you on that. I think salutations is enough. I think respect and reverence is enough. You know what I mean? But to what but to what you're saying is, yeah, look, I've been telling people all the time, look, if you don't want nothing to do with the community or your neighborhood, then just get out and go to a neighborhood, suburban, rural, confined, that you feel safe in. But the thing is, those people, they're over there practicing vigilante justice as well. You know what they do? They're called Karens. They're called barbecue Beckys. They're called neighborhood watches. What do? They see somebody that looks suspicious and they call, right? Some of these people is taking the law into their own hand. I would advise everybody to look at what happened during Hurricane Katrina. There were areas where these folks blocked them off and said, no N words around. You know what I mean? They were armed, heavily armed, way more than us, and we be over there, just let go and let God. These people wasn't letting go and let God. They was letting off rounds from AR-15s, from AKs, all of this stuff. You know what I mean? So when they thinking about vigilante justice and protecting their neighborhood and their property, they're not thinking about the Batman that don't delete. They're not thinking about, here, let me subdue him and then zip tie his arms and wait for the law enforcement. No, there's many signs that I have that even says we don't dial 911. Instead of dialing 911, they go grab a 1911, a Mossberg, you know what I mean, a Beretta. They're not about to call the cops. So when people over here are just saying, and it's funny too, because people be saying cops is racist, white supremacist this, white supremacist that, which I don't agree with. Don't take my word for it. The FBI has reported countless of white supremacist agents have infiltrated all of these organizations, CIA, FBI, anyone. Just do your research. Please don't take my word for it. But if we're over here complaining about, hey, the white supremacist this, white supremacist that, one thing that these dudes are not using, they're not using bats and nunchucks. They're using advanced weaponry. So in order for you to even have a chance to save yourself and others around you, you need to wake up. You know what I mean? You can call it vigilante justice. I just call it survival, right? Everyone knows about survivalists, right? So that's all you need to focus on. Because yeah, somebody needs to be the Batman. Everybody, if everyone is willing to do Batman duties, a lot of this stuff won't happen. Because even with when the people was running in the churches, running in the grocery mart, they looking for easy targets. But then if I try to run up on M3 and he look ready to go, and the DJ Eddie King ready to go, I'm gonna think twice. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't just look at the lions, bro. Lions are strong, king of the jungles. But when they chase after the zebra, they don't look for the biggest, strongest, fastest zebra. They be looking for a baby zebra that's easy to take down. And this is a lion we're talking about. You know what I mean? So, bro, all of these people with trained weaponry, they don't go to the hood where Pookie and Ray Ray would love to shoot it out with them. Do they go there? No, they go where the easy targets is. So there can't be any easy targets. People is like, oh, why? You know, like on Friday when he said, Craig Daddy was like, man, I never thought it would be the days where you needed a gun to walk down the damn street. Yeah, I didn't wish it wasn't like that either. I wish it wasn't. Just type in the news report for your crime. Just type in San Francisco and type in crime report. You know what I mean? Burglaries, crime up. Bro, my car just got broken into last week. I mean, come on, bro. Like, I'm not waiting for no cop. Bro, in a affluent neighborhood, the response time for a cop is 8 to 10 minutes. That's in a good neighborhood. Well, how long you think they gonna come on, bro? What is gonna be? Somebody could have raped you, someone could have beat you, took your money, and then by the time the cops get there, you know what they gonna do? Take a report and send you on your way and say, sorry, nothing we can do but take a report.
Yeah,
man, people need to arm themselves physically, spiritually, and mentally.
I agree.
Welcome, DJ Eddie King.
Hey, what's up, M3? How you
What's
doing?
up with the
What's up? What's up, V Easy man? How you doing, brother?
What's happening, bro? I couldn't get your stream. I did drop some
love though. Thank you for that, man.
Yeah. I always tell people if I can't fully watch the stream, same thing with Mr. Best, I'm still gonna like and share and support. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but
sir.
If you regularly do them in the afternoons, I'll definitely tune in and hop up on one. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. Thank you for that, dog. I appreciate it, man.
So
Yes,
keep doing your thing, bro. I was proud to see that you was rocking out. So yeah, keep up the good work.
Thank you, boss. Thank you.
Yo, man, that was so entertaining, DJ Eddie King, man. Like, I wish I could have been a part of it, but by the time
I know you was working, so I get it, man.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, out of all people, I didn't even get a notification like of our own live stream. And I was like, oh, it's still here. I was like, oh shoot.
I sent the link to in the back, in the chat.
right. But it was just one of those days, man. Like, it just got super busy, man. It was just slipping, bro. So
I know, man. True. When I called you, he was super busy, so I get it.
Oh,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
A parent talking to me in the ear. I'm like trying to do stocks, man, and I had kids like just screaming, and I had to make sure that they're all strapped in because so they don't leave the bus. So I was like, a lot of stuff, man, was definitely going on at the same time. So
oh yeah.
And still try to manage to do these thumbnails like after every stop, man, and keep working. So the grind don't stop. That's the whole you know what I mean?
Yep. The grind don't stop.
DJ, before I let you cook, right? Let me say something funny, right? Be easy. It's funny that you mentioned about the comedic side of me, because when I was on AMS's live stream, And I always try to make sure not to look at the chat because the chat would be a distraction. And so I started looking at the comments like after I hopped out the live stream, and I had all this on. You know what I mean? So, man, people was trying to lightweight roast the boy, man. It was like, man, he looked like he's like, man, the Fugees, man, they fell off like bad, right? And then I'm like, look, I shaved maybe a few days ago, and then like most of the hair is like grown out, so it's like I didn't have the time to shave because I'm like, all right, I want to hurry up and hop on his stream before it being cute before like he starts closing it out. So and I'm like fresh off from work. Mm-hmm. So then the people was like, man, he's a he's a low budget Tupac, right? I was like, damn. I was like, and they was calling me pink lip and all that. I was like, damn, like that's how y'all feel? Hey, but it was funny though. Like I didn't take it personal. It was just like
I gotta get in on this M3. Look, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you took it you took it that way. If you're not able to roast yourself, always if people haven't seen 8 Mile, always say do the B Rabbit effect, you know what I mean? Where not to spoil the movie, but he was in a battle and the battle was to humiliate your opponent. And he just started everything that he was gonna say about him, he already just basically disarmed him by bringing it up himself or showing him that like, hey, the worst thing that you can say about me, I'm already cool with it. You know what I mean? So it's like you really can't affect me in that way. And once you do that, once you're able to roast yourself, it's nothing that anyone could really get through in terms of trying to diminish your self-esteem. But what I will say is, shout out to AMS. I'm subscribed to them. I don't always, it's a lot of people I sub to, but I don't watch all of their videos. I sub to them to support, but sometimes people regurgitate the same stuff. They regurgitate stuff that I've already said before, or they'll say stuff that it's like, okay, yeah, it's just kind of confirmation bias. But so this is not about AMS, but it's about like people that follow him, and not just him, but just subscribers in general in the chat. See, me, I'll cam up anytime if it's necessary. I'm not just gonna cam up for the sake of camming up because I'm able to do other things. But M3, you always be camming up, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that takes a lot of courage. For me, it's not nothing, because I stand on what I believe. But to allow yourself to be out there, to be roasted, to have someone attack, oh, look at his beard, look at that. But the main people that be roasting, if you really start looking at who's roasting you, it's a faceless troll. Somebody that has a cartoon avatar. You go to their page, they don't even have a page. So it's like, bro, you got all of these opinions. Won't you cam up and let's just have a debate? Or won't you cam up and have a roast session? See, it's easy for somebody to be like, oh man, Steph Curry, whack. I could have hit that 3. Like, bro, you can't even make it to the G League.
Damn.
So it's easy to say, oh man, look at M3. He fell off. He part of the Fugees. Like, bro, do you even have a camera? Do you have working Wi-Fi? Are you paying? Could you afford to pay for StreamYard monthly? You know what I mean? So I know you ain't phasing it, but a lot of those dudes is just the epitome of incels, bro. And that's how they boost their self-esteem, by red pill raging and talking about, this dude looked like a knockoff Pras or something like that. But I always say concede the point. Let's just say hypothetically, I look like the dustier version of Wyclef Jean. If I look better than you, what does that make you? You feel me? You're saying I'm dusty, but I got more money than you. So what does that make you?
Right.
A broke and a dusty. A brokey. You know what I mean?
A brokey.
Yeah.
A dusty.
Right.
Brokey Johnson.
Right. Oh man. Not the Johnsons, man. But
My bad, I meant Brokey Robinson.
Okay, Bees. I see you got a little comedic side on you too, bro. I like that.
I'm here all week, fellas.
Yes, sir.
And that's why they call him Be Easy, that dude, man.
We got somebody in the back, man. We got somebody in the background, man. You know, should we bring him up? Can he come up or
No, he could come up, but no, he said he's
grabbing.
No, he said he'll be right back. He said he's grabbing
Yeah, I
something
don't know
real
if
quick.
he's ready. He
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Finishing his sandwich before he come up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was the throw the topic at me, L3. Throw the topic.
I
want to make sure. Oh, it's done already?
Yeah, it's down like you were scrolling. It says, when all else fails, should we allow the streets to step in for our communities? Basically, like, should we, play the role as Batman or have someone do it for us? Should we do like the bang bang, type of thing? But we don't promote violence here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say this though, y'all. Right? I want to be honest. It's been a lot of problems in the streets, man. It's been a lot of robberies and things like that, murders and stuff like that. But sometimes people don't hear these stories. Actually, people just don't know what's going on. They just look at the news and be like, "Oh, okay, somebody else got killed or somebody else got robbed or something like that." But there's a lot of stories that's a part of what's going on, like bigger stories that we don't even know. A lot of times, there's a war in these streets from your community, and then you have somebody else. You have a gang from a different community coming to your community and raising hell, raising violence, and what they're doing is defending it. So sometimes a lot of times they go back and forth. It don't really be on no, like, sometimes, I'm just saying, majority of the hood, sometimes it don't really be on some gang shit. The majority of the time it be people just protecting their community. Now I'm not saying that in the community there is no gang or gang. Yes, it is. Sometimes it do be on some gang stuff, but a lot of times it don't. A lot of times, when I was when I got off work a few times, and there was a man who was trying to take a woman's purse, and you had a whole gang across the street ran and rushed this guy and beat him up and gave the purse back to the woman, and they don't even know her. And she thought that they was going to rob her, even they was helping her. And they came and took that purse and gave it right back to her, went across the street and smoked and did their thing. Even though they were still part of whatever it is they was part of, their little gang and stuff. But, and then they shout out and say, I'm just trying to help my community and stuff like that. Even though they are part of it. Even we know they know what they do, but at some point, sometimes it's not what people see when you look on the news. Sometimes it's bigger than that.
It's always bigger than that. Let me add on to what DJ Eddie King saying, because he just made a profound point. And this is why I told Mr. Best this the other day, but bro, we gotta stop with this black on black crime BS. I'm talking about we need to just stop saying that narrative, period.
Exactly.
Because crime is crime. You know what I mean? People love to tell you we're all Americans, right? We're all the same. And then in the next breath, they say black on black crime. I thought we were Americans. So why are you trying to separate and segregate us from crime? And, and more white people commit crime than anyone. And then they'll try to tell you, oh, it's because of the sheer numbers. Don't make excuses. Do y'all commit more crime or not? Which means y'all are more criminals. And then they try to move the goalposts and say, yeah, but the violent crimes, you know what I mean? Like, crime is crime, bro. You know what I mean? Yes, there are some that, murder. But if you want to get down to the statistics, murder is highly, highly a rare occurrence. Yes, the media blast it and make it seems like it's happening more than often, but it's not. It's literally like 2% of our population that's committing the crime. And if they wanted to stop it, they would. But let me tell you this, bro. Once again, look this stuff up. No one has to take my word for it. According to the FBI, approximately 40% of the nation's homicides go unsolved. 40%. And look, they said the unsolved murder rate in Chicago, because they love to bring up Chicago. What about Chicago? The unsolved murder rate. The unsolved murder rate out there is 55%, which means 55% of the murders, they don't know who the hell done it. But if it's
Right.
in a black neighborhood, they automatically assume that it was a black person. And
Yeah.
what do black people do? Demonize each other. So they
Yeah.
automatically assume it was a black person. But I present to you the Buffalo shooting. One. Can y'all hear me? One white supremacist killed 11 people.
Mhm.
Right? But it was in a black neighborhood. If he didn't get caught, who would they have said done that? Man, we gotta stop killing ourselves, man. Black on black crime. Like,
Right.
come on, bro.
Right.
I've been
Right.
hearing Mexicans talk about this stuff. Don't take my word for it. Go look at Mexico, bro. Drug infested, crime infested. Isn't that Mexican culture? Show me a Mexican that's talking about stop all the brown on brown crime. Show me a Mexican talking about stop all the Hispanic on Hispanic crime. They the ones killing each other. You don't hear that though. Have you seen what's going on in China? Show me a video where China's saying, man, us Chinese people, we got to do better. You hear black folks saying it. Present me a video where it's a bunch of white people saying, man, we got to do better about this racism stuff. No, every other group will criticize us and our culture, but here we are. What do? We don't criticize no one else's culture. We just say, man, we got to stop killing ourselves. Go tell that to the Hispanics. You know what I mean? Oh, you too scared to say it, but you're not too scared. You too scared to say it to them, but you'll engage in a conversation, letting them disparage your community, and you can't. And Tyga, who's not even FBA, can't even make a song called "I Caramba" without checking into some loser named American Cholo. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? Cats need to wake up, bro.
Yeah, but a lot of times be easy. I want to be real with you. Like when I'm down here, man, I don't really have problems with no other nationality but us. I'm not saying that I'm looking for a problem or purposely trying to start something with anybody. It's just I could just walk out my house and I get stared down like a hawk. You know, somebody always got something to say, but it'd be our people. Majority of the time, be us. It'd be more of us than anybody else does, and I feel like that's a problem. You know. But if we won't change, we know how to do this shit. We just don't. To me, I feel like we just don't want to do it. I feel like we just don't want to do it, man. You know, especially if blood has been spilled. That's going to be some work. But I feel like we know how to do it. We just don't want to do it for some reason. Is there a way? Yes, there's a way. I feel like we could find a way if we willing to do it. We got some common sense. A lot of us got to have common sense to come together. A lot of us do. Because when I was growing up, I have, you know, I only had problems with my people. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you know, I didn't want problems with my own kind. I only want problems with my own kind right now. I want us to come together. I do. But that's a hard thing, man. Everybody's on a new page. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I rock real quick?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Special.
Thank you. I'll say this, right? And me, you know, Beezy, we chopped about this the other night too. It's funny that you was talking about this shit too. Chopped about this the other night, bro. I'm gonna say this, like, I think with the other culture, right, they privately handle their matter, right? So if somebody getting out of line, they privately handle it. They don't have to broadcast it to the world. They gotta get up on YouTube and say some shit. You violate some shit, you get dealt with. That's it. You know what I mean? No other words got to be said. Nothing else got to happen. There ain't got to be no other shit. But with us, we want to make everything public. We want to sit up on YouTube and make everything public. We want to sit up on YouTube and talk shit and do all this other shit and not handle shit, you know, in house. You know what I'm saying? And then we get mad when people are like, "Yo, like, nah, man, we handle shit in house, or we not gonna move in a certain way, or we gonna respect each other in a certain way." You know what I'm saying? I think it's having a code. You know what I'm saying? DJ Eddie has talked about this. It's about having a code. We got to have a code.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And we got to stick to that code. And people who don't want to stick to the code, hey, man, look, we wish you well, but you can't be around here. You know what I'm saying? And we got to toe that line, because the thing is that when we don't toe the line, people then they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not a good thing. You know what I mean? So in our hoods, in our neighborhoods, even here on YouTube, we just got to have a code of what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I think we stick to that code. We have that code and it's respected. You know what I mean? And You know what I mean? I think even, you know, as a community and even as a team on YouTube, like, you know, everybody's grown. Like we don't got to keep saying the same shit over and over again. Like, you know what I mean? I think a lot of times in the Black community, sometimes, you know what I mean, we at times can feel like, oh man, because they Black or because they this, we gotta continue to like help them out. But it's like, nah, if this person ain't trying to help our community, they ain't trying to see us grow, then nah, like you gotta go, bro, or you gotta go, sis, because you ain't trying to help us. You're trying to hold us back. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely shout out to the team, man. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to Inauguration, man. You know, we just, M3 were just on AMS, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The dynasty continues. The team is growing. We're getting stronger. You know what I mean? And I just want to put this message out here, man. You know what I mean? And you know, this is something I'm speaking for, not just for myself, but definitely for the team as well. You know what I mean? Us as a team, man, we keeping shit positive, man.
Yeah.
We keeping shit positive. We not doing no negativity. None of that. You know what I mean? Eddie and M3 told y'all shit on this shit Monday. I'm gonna say it today, Thursday. We are focused on being positive and having dope content. And I think that's the line we got to set when it comes to our community. You know what I mean? When people involved in the streets, you know what I mean? And me, you know, and Eddie, remember we talked about this, you know, the other night.
Yeah.
Look, in the streets, like back in the day, if you was from a different culture, you couldn't come and just open up a store. You couldn't.
Yeah. Couldn't.
You had to check in.
Mm-hmm.
You had to check in. You had to do something for the hood. You ain't checking to do something for the hood, that business wasn't happening. They would shut the shit down.
Mm-hmm.
They'll burn the shit down, whatever. They beat you up, whatever. You know what I mean? Kill you if they have to. But they was not delete you. I'm sorry. Delete you if they have to. But it was not going to just come to the hood and just set up shop. No. You wasn't doing that. Even if you was Black, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
If you was Black and you was from Detroit and now you want to come to Miami and set up shop, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to somebody. You gotta check in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially if you're from a different culture, you definitely have to check in. They're gonna ask you, what's your business here? You know what I mean? And if you ain't trying to help the hood and your business ain't helping the hood, you gotta go. Straight up and down. You know what I mean? And that's just what it's gotta be, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And let me add on to this as well too, though. You know, and Mr. Best is definitely, I'm sorry, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox, right? You know, he's definitely right about that part. So, you know, you're hearing from him and you're hearing from us as well too. You know, like as a team, look, we're trying to go to a different direction. I understand that people are not used to people being on their purpose and elevating. But see, this is the one thing, and it's funny that we're talking about AMS, right? I feel like, man, we should just like change the thumbnail and just put AMS's face on there, right? But no, but the thing is, what many things that I learned from this guy, right, is that you want to be surround yourself around people that's going to be like-minded, that's going to operate on a level that you're moving at, okay? And so, as a team, we understand that Black YouTube sucks. We understand that Black YouTube is all about the drama, just to get the viewership and the subscribers. And it works, unfortunately. But what does that do? It paints a negative stereotype on us. It makes us, like the good YouTubers, bad. Because when you come to a platform, and here's the thing, we may not even operate in that type of level, but then when there's other people that's coming into the space, and then they're spilling like their rants, their emotional problems onto this channel, then it makes it seem like we're a part of the negative side of the Black YouTube space. And that's the part where we're going to change. You know? Look, if you look at us like we're a boring channel, that's fine. We're going to tell it like it is. But at the same time, you know, we control the trolls. Troll control. Okay? We don't have time for that. So if y'all want to come up in there and troll and spew out your disrespect, man, take it to someone else's platform so you could do that. But here's what we don't stand at. So people in the chat will notice. We don't talk about, here's a golden rule, and this should be key for Black folks. You can roast people all you want, but you never talk about the dead. and you never talk about the families. Okay, and so you never know who's connected with who. All right. I know we have people that don't like Kevin Samuels. I know we have people that probably don't even like AMS. You know, I know we know people that don't even like Fresh and Fit, and that's cool. That's your opinion, but then don't come over here disrespecting these guys. Same thing we ask you guys: don't disrespect people in the chat or in the panel, and especially us. Don't disrespect all these other guys, especially if some of them are no longer living. So I'm just putting that shit out there and making it clear.
And don't get us wrong. You know, if we got folks up here, you know, that's being disrespectful, we will put them in check.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm being disrespectful, I expect my group to put me in check. If I'm being disrespectful, you know what I mean? To be real. So, you know, don't think that we're not a team player. Don't think that we're not fair or being fair. We're gonna be fair with anybody. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be fair with anybody. You know, we're not looking for no beefs. We're not looking for we're not looking for none of that, man. We all about peace and positivity, man. Trying to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else too. You know what I'm saying? That's black or non-black. We're here to uplift people. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I want to say.
And I know it'd be easy when to chop on the subject, so I'm gonna just make the shit brief. What I'm gonna say, you know, and I'm gonna use AMS as an example, right? We look at AMS to go, right? And this is the thing. This is about building community. AMS has always given us tools to rebuild our community and have confidence as a people. He's never done things to tear down his community. And more importantly, as long as he's been on YouTube, I ain't never seen AMS mention none of you people in YouTube. Never. Never, ever, ever. You know what I'm saying? The only time I ever seen him, it was one cat that addressed him or that wanted to debate him. And you know, AMS did what he had to do. He let the guy know what it was, but it was a debate that him and AMS agreed upon. But AMS is never ever the great AMS, the GOAT. He's never ever came at anybody on YouTube ever. You know what I'm saying? That man is focused on his purpose. He's focused on helping our people grow. And the man, oh yeah, I love this beat in the background too, man. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Sir.
Yeah, man. Shout out to DJ the King, the number one music producer on YouTube. The number one music producer on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
You know
Thank you.
And listen, at the end of the day, right? You know, I mean, definitely watch the replay of Knowledge in the Afternoon today too. It's a great show. Now, and definitely like and subscribe to that video, and definitely make a comment at the end of that video too. But back to my point, right? The great AMS has wrote several books, right? How many books he got in? Is it 2 or 3?
He has 3 books: Alpha Male Strategies, the advanced version, and also the money strategies too.
3 books, okay? And all these books are here to help people grow, okay? You know what I mean? Exactly. He will block you, okay? The GOAT will block you. So here's the thing, man. You know what I mean? We definitely support AMS. We thank him for supporting us. You know what I mean? And we're going to continue to move forward, man. Because he's about building community, and we are about building community too. Be easy. I know you want to rock, bro. Go
ahead. Yeah, I just want to add on some that DJ Eddie said earlier. He said to a point, and I'm not really necessarily disagreeing with anything y'all said. I'm just trying to have a more complete discussion. He essentially said that basically some of the vitriol and disdain he was getting was mainly from his own people. But, you know, once again, I just presented to you, you know, look at these other communities. It's really the haves and have-nots. When you're dealing with a capitalist system, you know, do you think Nancy Pelosi treats the trailer park whites good or sees them as equal? Once again, look at China. China is full of Chinese people. And how are they treating other Chinese people? Russia is bombing Ukraine, and it's literally like the same country. Ukrainians speak Russian. They look just like each other. Blue eyes, blonde hair, most of them. What are they doing? White on white crime. You know, deleting each other left and right. So they want to make it seem that, hey, what's happening in certain areas where we're populated is unique, but it's human nature. You know what I mean? People do crime around the people that they're around. You know what I mean? And there is some circumstances. See, there was no Jim Crow that affected these other communities, right? There's a systemic effort to keep us downtrodden, disenfranchised, and basically hating and despising each other. And people will say, hey, personal responsibility, get over it. But the same people that say that, they haven't been subjected to that, right? It's like someone trying to tell you about, man, jail and solitary confinement ain't that bad. It's like, have you ever been in there? Nah, but I just heard about it. It ain't that bad. You know what I mean? That's essentially what other groups do. You know what I mean? Oh, it wasn't that bad. Were y'all here when Jim Crow was there? No, but like, we read about it. And then, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what all of these other groups do. Yes, we need to be better as people. We always have to work as 4 times harder than anybody else. If you do one thing, then they'll be like, see, that's just how black people are. You know what I mean? But if a white person does something, they'll be like, that's how this individual is, right? They in other groups get to say, hey, this is an individual. We're not a monolith. But if I happen to be a thug, it's just like, see, black dudes are just thugs. No, I'm a thug. That doesn't mean M3 is a thug, or you know what I mean? Like, so that's why with our language, when we're talking about being on code, right? Look at that Kyle Rittenhouse thing. People could say, oh, he shouldn't have done that, self-defense, any of that stuff. If he was black, we know the energy wouldn't be different. But they got on code and they were like, yes, he did what he needed to do. Same thing with peep this with George Floyd. Let's just say he was a criminal, right? He was apparently high off fentanyl and had a counterfeit $20 bill. They're accusing and saying Trump had nuclear papers and took stuff, classified documents. So the FBI raided them. People were saying defund the police over George Floyd, and they were like, no, how could you say that? You feel me? He's a criminal. Then with Trump, they're saying defund the FBI. You know what I mean? They even had a dude run up on the FBI. Some white supremacists ran up on the FBI with a nail gun and some other weaponry. And this was just days ago. You know what I mean? No one is talking about, man, we got to do better. We just got to do better. You know what I mean? If you look at these riots, when it was the Charlottesville riot, they killed a white person. It was a bunch of white on white Antifa versus the Proud Boys. Nobody was out there saying you got to do better. Nobody was trying to figure out, the pathology of things. So, you know what I mean? I think people just collectively need to, keep that same energy. Yes, we do need to do better, you know what I mean? And we actually are. I was watching a content creator and he was saying something that I thought, but he articulated a little better than my thoughts. And he was saying we are united. We just unite for the wrong things. You know what I mean? If it's a concert, bro, cats be turning out. It's a summer jam. I see a sea of black people and they Sunday's best. When it was these protests, they was turning out. You know what I mean? Certain things we turn out for. We be unified, but just in the wrong thing. Just go look at a shade room post. That seems like they be unified. But about what though? A frivolous, meaningless topic. So we need to be unified about things that could change our lives.
Yeah.
Things that better our life. We unify over BS all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all can pick
all the time, and it starts with the internet too.
Yeah, man.
That's got to stop. That's it's like the internet. When it comes to us, it's like more and more and more. It's getting a lot more and more, more negative, bringing that negative energy when it comes to the internet. When it comes to us, man, it's like it stirs the pot even more. I feel like that's definitely
and that's what we unify over, right? We'll unify over the negativity, like, but we won't unify. Like, okay, KS died, then the toxic women will unify to spit on his grave, and then they'll be able to get some other people to be like, oh, he was GAY anyways. Like, that's unification. They're coming together, you know what I mean, as a unit to disparage a man. But then okay, cool, let's have that same unity for a college fund. Bro, I ain't even got it. Oh, my pocket's hurting. It's like, where was that same energy? All of y'all was saying you was high value, and then these women was saying it was boss babes. You know what I mean? So you got money to donate to divestment groups, but you don't got money to donate to a college fund? Come on, where's the boss babes? Where's the high value cats at? You feel me?
Yeah, we're all we're all unified when it comes to wanting female relationships, male to female relationships, but we're never unified when it comes to the education of equity, buying property, investing into like stocks, bonds, option plays, option calls. You know what I mean? We're not unified when it comes to making financial literacy. You know what I mean? Financial gain and freedom to it. We're only unified to the BS. Oh, go ahead, Beezy.
Nah, I just wanted to pick up, like, I seen when, when men were saying, look, I don't have an issue with bonnets. My mama, my grandmama wore bonnets, but they wore them at the house. I don't want y'all to wear them. I just don't want my lady wearing them out to Walmart. F you can't tell me what to do. And then women got unified to wear bonnets. Like, come on, bro. Unified to twerk, right? Unified to do a crate challenge. Everybody, that's unification, right?
Right.
But if we say, hey, let's all unify and everybody donate 10 to this program, because we're all boss babes and high value people, right? Then suddenly people don't know what unification means anymore. You know what I mean? Here, let's unify and watch a world star hip hop video. And then the video gets billions of views, and you like, oh, who owns the right to the song? Oh, just some non-black person. But we unified in watching it. Come on, bro.
Nah, those are some like really deep truths, bro. Because
it's sad though,
Yeah.
Unified for negativity. That's sad, bro.
But see,
sad.
But
sad and pathetic.
Pathetic, exactly. I don't know why a lot of us thrive off that negativity to come together for some stupid and petty, but we can't come together to find programs for each other. We can't come together to help out one of our own kind that's out on the streets. As far as a man being homeless that don't even do drugs, he's just homeless. Hey man, you go to this program, we got this program. We don't even do that, bro. We don't send messages or program messages back and forth to say, hey, or give information, bro, back and forth. They say, hey, go over here, get some clothes over here. It's a brand new clothes, man. We don't do that, bro. We don't even do that. It's like because a lot of times people be like, well, check this out. I'm gonna tell you where to go, but don't tell nobody else. Don't tell nobody else. I'm gonna tell you to go over here.
Especially when
right. Because a lot of times they be selfish.
Especially when it comes to jobs.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to jobs. That's crazy, man.
And this is why we try our best to really stress unity and something that's more positive that can really break the stereotypes. You're going to have a whole bunch of stereotypes about black folks anyway that's going to be negative. But at least when you come in here, let us be the ones to kind of set the standard and make a difference. The funny thing is, man, and I'll leave some of these YouTubers alone, but it's funny that, people when they come here, they'll unify when there's arguments going on. Right now, the number count is 4, okay? Because we're talking about too much positivity. But let it be a topic where people are just going ham, just
if
going
you
at
tag the content creator You know what I mean? And put knowledge relationships versus and then tag the creator. They gonna be like, oh, they beefing.
Right. Oh, that's something to watch.
Something to watch.
Well,
but then if you
to be honest, it would be something huge or something like that to watch, to be honest, but
you
that would be
literally
great.
could give somebody the blue. People will say, I want to be married to a high value man, and you can say, look, I'm giving a master class for that, right? They ain't even gonna watch it unless they could try to tear the person down. They don't want to see that. Come on, bro. Like, people acting like they want to see that. They really don't. They want to find some element, because even I'll use your appearance with AMS, right? I didn't see it, bro, but I'm assuming you went up there because you're a supporter of them and you want to have a valuable and substantive conversation. And what is Cats doing in the chat? Kiki King, cracking joke. Look, it's the Thunderdome. I'm cool with that. You feel me? You roast me, I roast back. But what I'm saying is mainly a bunch of incels and time wasters doing that. Bro, if you really are high value, bro, even if I see a dusty dude, I don't have time to look at, I don't have time to be clowning on a dusty dude, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of revealing how much of a loser people are, bro.
I was about to say that shit.
Yeah, bro. If I'm banging all these bad bitches that people talk about, bro, I wouldn't be getting on here belly aching about chicks. You're crying about problems that don't pertain to you, right? And if they do, then why do they? It must be something with you. You feel me? So people love to get on here, preach the negativity and argue. I just seen two content creators argue, and all they could say is, "Man, you broke, and I got more views." So that's what we've reduced ourselves down to as men. It's just money and views. But I always go back to like these old school movies, bro. Or even The Dark Knight. It was a scene in The Dark Knight where the dude was just yelling at Bane saying, "Man, I paid you a small fortune. You need to do this. You need to do that." And then the other dude was like, "Hey, I'm about to leave." And he said, "No, you don't gotta leave. I'm in control of this." And then Bane put his hand on his shoulder and said, "Do you feel in control?" You know what I mean? A lot of cats is over here just saying all of this stuff because they online. But in person, bro, you know what I mean? You wouldn't keep that same energy because you're not in control of anything but your keyboard, bro. That's all you're in control of. You're not trying to build anything up. So it's like, bro, get out of the way when grown folks is actually building something, bro. Go sit at the kiddie table, bro. Because you're not equipped for reals, bro. Y'all seen Four Brothers? Go sit at the alternative sweets on this, bro. Go sit at the kiddie table, bro. Because this, you just not, in the words of Daryl Long, you just not formidable enough to be eating with us, bro.
Man,
I'll be right back.
Okay, I like how you use that Four Brothers shit. That shit was fly. I'm gonna say that was my movie. I like that movie.
That movie is fire.
That movie is fire, bro. That movie is fire. They got the Motown shit and all that. You know what I mean? It's fire. I'm gonna say this, man. You know what I'm saying? And BZ, just like you were saying, like, you know what I mean? People are complaining about things, you know what I mean? And these are the choices that person has made, right? You have made these choices, so the choice that you made has affected the outcome that you get. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad based on that. You made a choice. This is the outcome. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I'm gonna speak on this Broken Dusty thing too. I got to touch on this, man. I just have to, right? Everybody wants to talk about how this person broken Dusty, how that person broken Dusty. Listen, all right. Compared to LeBron, everybody's broken Dusty. Okay, that broken Dusty shit is subjective. It just depends on how much money you're making. If Bill Gates woke up with some of you dudes' money, he would jump off a building. Okay? Because to him, you're broken Dusty. All right? So that's all depending on what spectrum you're on. It all depends on your tax bracket. So some people in a high exactly. Some people in a high tax bracket or in a different state or whatever, they're gonna see one person that's broken Dusty and they're gonna see somebody else that's broken Dusty. It just all depends on your perspective. It all depends on what you're doing in life. You know what I mean? It's not dependent on anything else. So people got to see that. So that's why I said high value shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all perspective and objection. So what's high value to me? It may not be high value to anybody else here on the panel or in the chat. It may be completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why when we say high value, that could mean anything. Literally.
Even saying someone is broke can mean anything. Because Mr.
Exactly.
Red, saying broke and dusty, like I said, since people like to say black men are dusty, let's just take them out. The average white guy makes 52 to 59,000. Plenty of men would consider that dusty. So a dude that's making 80,000 is clearly way above average in terms of earning. But because he don't make six figures, he makes 75, 80,000. He's considered broke and dusty, even though the average white guy makes 52 to 59,000. What are we talking about here? Go ahead, Mr. Best. You was rocking out, but that broke.
No, you're good.
Getting me, bro.
But the crazy shit is too, right? Like, and we was rapping on this too, right? Like, you know, if you look at a homeless person, right? To us, you know, when he looks at us, we Bill Gates. You know what I mean? We got money, we got a car, we got food. You know what I mean? So to him, we ain't broken dusty. We wealthy, but somebody else will look at us and say we broken dusty. You feel what I'm saying? It's all objective. It's not based on anything. You know what I mean? That's why it's a dumb argument to have. You know what I mean? Because if you look at one person, they broken dusty. To another person, they rich. You know what I mean? To another person, they wealthy. To another person, like, it's all subjective and it's all objective to how you feel. That's why having an argument about who's high value and not makes absolutely no sense, because it depends on who you asking and what kind of life they live.
Depends on who you comparing to, right?
Exactly.
I make 100,000 and people be like, yeah, but so and so is making 400,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though you wasn't comparing yourself to that person, they always will. Just like, you know how it is. If you jump in the dating market as a man and you be like, man, I'm a nice looking dude. I'm 6'2". I got a six pack. They gonna present you someone else like, yeah, but look at him. He's 6'4" and his muscles are, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, it doesn't matter if you make $1 million. They gonna be like, you know how much Jeff Bezos makes? You know what I mean? Like,
woo!
Right. Mm-hmm.
So like you said, bro, at the end of the day, and I always make the point, the same people that talk about broken dusty, in the next sentence, they talk about the Bible. You can't talk about the Bible without talking about Jesus. And by societal standards, Jesus was the brokest, dustiest of them all.
And that's the one thing that people do not, you know, when you start to really break down the facts of a conversation, it completely takes away people's argument. You know what I mean? It completely takes away all that. But see, people don't want to speak in logic. They just want to speak and argue about shit, you know what I mean, that don't make any sense. You know what I mean? So if I can just argue you to death, and I can just go back and forth with you all the time, you know what I mean? Then yeah, you know what I mean? That's gonna make it seem like I'm actually making a point, or that I sound right because I'm loud or boisterous. But then when you really study what I'm saying, I'm not really saying shit. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I call that like the Ben Shapiro Syndrome, where someone will talk hecka fast, or they'll use some big words that you never heard before, and then sometimes you be caught up on the speed on which they said their rhetoric, or you'll be hung up on a word like, what does that word mean? And then now they done what they ran, and you like, what did they even say? You just thinking about this one word, and it's like, man, he actually is pretty smart. It's like, yeah, but what did he say? Oh, well, I can't remember. If I just gave a soliloquy and you can't at least give me the gist of what I said, like, you know what I mean? Did I really say anything? You know what I mean? Worth repeating? And that's what people do. They just want to hear themselves talk. They'll say something and it's like, bro, we lightweight wasn't even talking about that. Or they'll make a good ass point about something that we weren't even talking about. Come
you
on,
try to change the narrative.
Yeah. And it's like to win an argument, and it's like, yeah, you won that argument against yourself. I wasn't even making that point. And it's like, you got to understand, it's like, I do understand that, but that's not part of the topic. And this, I tell you all the time, everything is not a debate, bro. We're up here having a discussion. No one you are going to agree with 100% of the time. For you to even act like that is just some weird, goofy, childish, juvenile type stuff. If you have a wife, you're not going to agree with your wife 100% of the time, nor your mama, nor your kids. So why would you be expecting to agree with strangers on YouTube 100%?
Exactly.
And then even if they agree with you, the majority, let's say 70-30, that's a pretty substantial. If I agree with DJ Eddie King 70% of the time, people will focus on the 30% of disagreements.
Yeah.
And that's just how people are. The 30% of disagreements will be the deal breaker, even though we overwhelmingly agree. And instead of us building our rapport based on what we agree with, we want to stay divided based on what we disagree with. And sometimes the disagreement is actually an illusion, because when I actually talk to DJ Eddie man to man, I'm like, oh, that's what you meant? I misinterpreted what you said. And now actually we do agree. Sometimes people will be saying, oh, I disagree with Mr. Intellectual Soapbox because they already misconstrued what your position is. And they'll say, yeah, this is like, bro, I never said that. They disagree based off what they thought your premise was. I see that all the time, bro.
But here's my thing, right? How do we get past that? How do we get unified and get past, all that BS? You know what I'm saying? Where because like you said, when we get up here, whether we on the stream or just even when we outside and we trying to speak to things collectively, people always want to change the narrative or change certain shit the way that we do it. So how do we finally get unified? You know what I mean? And as a topic, saying, you know what I mean? How do us who are basically in the streets and who are not a part of law enforcement, we're not politicians, we're none of that. So essentially we are of, I'm not saying that we we hood or whatever. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that we are essentially are the people who are front line within the streets. What are solutions that we need to come up with to make things change?
Exactly. That's the question.
All right, hold on. Okay. So
go ahead.
Go ahead and cook, bro. Go ahead and cook.
No, I was just gonna read through this quick list of like 10 steps, and then we can just kind of build on there. It's kind of vague in terms of the details and the nuance, but it's just kind of like a parameters, you know what I mean? So one, changing the language about the problem from negative to positive, because everybody wants to talk about the problem only in a negative light. But even in all negative situations, there's something positive that you can find, a silver lining. And I think if we change our language to reflect more of the positive potentiality of the situation, then I think that will help us. Of course, defining the situation or problem clearly, I think that's been overly defined clearly. But then this is not always use critical thinking to approach the problem from several different directions. Not people think a lot, but they're not always thinking critically. They want someone to think for them. You know what I mean? Like, here, tell me what to do, and then I'll do that. No, we need everybody thinking critically, on one accord, laying solutions out on the table, so we could attack it from several different directions and say, hey, this is good, but not that. Oh, let's take a little bit of this, but not that. You know what I mean? So, of course, then we got to clearly define the ideal solution to the problem. I don't know if there's anything as a universal ideal solution to the problem. That's why we need a family, a village, a team to come up with solutions, plural, and then we enact and implement all of those, or the one that kind of held supreme, which is my next point, which is pick the best solution to solve your challenge. So we basically brainstorm solutions and we pick the most effective and most progressive solution that's going to actually produce a productive outcome for us, and then prepare for the worst possible outcome and how to overcome it. So yeah, whatever the worst possible thing that could happen, whether it's jail time, deletion, infiltration, you need to be able to say, look, this could possibly happen, and if this does happen, this is what we're going to do after that. Measuring the
Mm.
We need to be measuring it, like by having meetings, whether it's
Mhm.
weekly, monthly, saying, oh, DJ Eddie King, you were supposed to get this event booked. How are you doing in that regard? Hey,
Right.
you were supposed to pass out X amount of backpacks. How much did you do that? So that's the measuring of progress.
Mhm.
8 is take complete responsibility for your decisions. That's for anything that you do. If you got a crazy baby mama, a crazy baby daddy, if you got locked up, you know what I mean? If you've been cheating on your girl or your husband, if you got fired from your job, whatever it is, take complete responsibility for your decision. None of us is infallible. We gonna make mistakes. If you ain't making mistakes, you ain't trying hard enough. But don't blame everybody else for your problems. Take responsibility for it. Be an adult, and you know what I mean? Everything will be copacetic. Set a deadline for when things should be solved. Because right now, if we say, look, let's plan a party, and it's like, all right, cool, yeah, we gonna do a party. When? Now December has passed. Yeah, let's plan that party. Now it's summer again. Like, damn, when are we ever gonna plan the party? So we
Right.
gotta.
Mm.
And this last one I'm gonna do before I let y'all rock out: take action and solve your problem. That's the simplest thing I said. Take action. Don't
Mhm.
just talk. We know about what the solution is. People have been telling us what the solution. Our community, other communities, people have been genuine about it, disingenuine about it. We know what the problem is. Most of us know what the solution is. Take action and solve them. What y'all got, fellas?
Man, before we even cook on that, I want to give a shout out to non-relationship family, Big Rick Slaps. You know what I mean? Salute to Big Rick, man.
Salute, Big Rich.
Thank you for being here, bro. You definitely the money for being here. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a little cash check. Yeah, thank you for being here, bro. We appreciate you, man. What's going on? But yeah, Eddie, you can definitely cook on that, bro. I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree with Be Easy, man. But I also had an idea, too, as well. You know, if people are going to start paying attention to Instagram and things like that, and people so worried about taking out their camera phones and stuff, let's just play a challenge game. How much love you got for your people? For example, like matter of fact, I was thinking about putting videos on Instagram about the way I buy brand new clothes, brand new t-shirts, brand new shoes for folks that actually need it, folks that sleep down on the streets. I'm handing this stuff out to them. You know what I mean? Food, packages. I'm handing this stuff out to people. So I'm thinking about doing challenges like that. Actually, I got some homegirls that's actually doing that. You know what I mean? They actually came up with that, but I just thought about it. Let's just play the challenge game like everybody else do. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Or
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking about challenges, they be like, oh, just like what's his name, the rapper. He brought out with 100 million and put it on the table. He did the money challenge. Let's not do all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's do an uplift our community challenge or something like that, man. Let's pass it down, record it, and then maybe everybody else would get involved and start doing it. Even though they might think it's a competition or think who's going to do it better. Hey, listen, that's fine as long as they're helping out their community. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. If you feel like you could send out more clothes to me, like I could send out 100 t-shirts or pants or shoes. You may send out 300 or 400 t-shirts or pants. Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you helping the community, that is okay with me. If you want to take it as a challenge, fine. Start doing that.
I think both ideals that y'all have is definitely things that can be done, you know what I mean, on on a level where we don't have to have a whole bunch of money, right? We don't have to have a whole bunch of anything. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just little things that can be done, you know what I mean? That's just common things, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Helping to feed those who are homeless, maybe giving them some food, you know what I mean? Giving them some money, you know what I mean? Also, not maybe giving them some food, but giving them some food, money, different resources that they may need, shoes, clothing, things of that nature. Also helping them in ways to find shelter. You know what I'm saying? Come up with ideas to help them. You know what I'm
Tutoring.
saying? Tutoring. You know what I mean? And also I think in our community, man, we can't be afraid to ask for help, man. I think that's another big thing on any
Yeah.
level, right?
Yeah.
We can't be afraid to ask for help, and I think it's hard to build community when a lot of people are just afraid to ask for help. They're afraid to say, "Hey, listen, this is what is affecting me." So the streets will be there to help you, but
Yeah.
you're not telling nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
people don't even know that you're suffering. They don't even know that you're going through this shit because you're not telling them. You're not saying nothing to nobody.
Right.
So it's like we can't help you if you're not communicating what's really really going on with you. You know what I mean?
And I think it's two things. One is we got to get out of our um, egotism and pride, and then
Mhm.
also it's a lack of distrust, because like M3 already said earlier, he went on AMS channel, and like I said, of course, it was just a bunch of beta buffoon incel trolls, but it is indicative of what will happen. You know what I mean? If DJ Eddie King, if I known him, and every time I know him, he was fly and flashy, and then he finally does admit that, bro, I'm doing bad, bro. Like I could barely put food on the table. My kids are struggling. Some will be able to help him, and some cats will call like Mr. Bex, that nigga DJ Eddie King, that nigga so broke. You know what I mean? And some people
Mm.
don't even want to put my business out there like
Right.
that because they
Right.
don't trust other people to not reveal their information in a disparaging way. And that's
Mm.
sick.
That's a problem too. I was just about to say something like
Yeah,
that.
I know my family had done that. Like if someone owes them money, they'll call another family member, say, "You heard from so and so? He owe me some money. He or she owe me some money." That isn't very encouraging for you to ask someone else. You know what I mean? You and I'm not saying you should be getting over on people and not paying your debts, but I'm just saying like if I'm going through something and I say, man, I'm gonna call Mr. Soapbox and tell him, man, that my girl is doing me dirty, she cheated on me. But if Mr. Bass is just gonna call M3 to tell him my business, I'd rather just keep that bottled in. Now that's just toxic for everyone because I may take that toxicity out on someone else in the hood. You know what I mean? So we got to just be better at being empathetic and being there for each other. You know what I mean? And letting each other know that, look, you can confide in me. DJ Eddie King, I can be mad at you. But if you tell me some personal information, I'm not going to go and tell your business. To me, that's just some messy stuff that I don't condone, and I just can't really comprehend. I don't get down like that, but that's one thing we need to stop. You know what I mean? As a collective unit.
Yeah, we gotta stop doing that, man. We gotta stop.
But see, that's the thing. Like you were saying, be easy. It's that level of trust, right? That level of trust also has to be there. And people have to feel comfortable with telling you different things. And it's not the fact that people don't want to tell you. It's just that, yo, like you know,
they
you
don't
have
trust you to keep the information a secret, right?
mm-hmm. Not that, and also right, like they don't trust you enough, right, to basically really, you know what I mean, help them out in a positive way,
To
right?
even care, right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, and a lot of times we project because we are upset that somebody's in a different position, or we perceive they're in a better position than we are. So as soon as we got a little bit on them, oh, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. Like as soon as we like, oh man, like this person, they made, they got something that we may want, or we always say that they flashy, and now they not flashy. So now we gonna come at them, right? But all I showed you is that you're jealous and that you're weak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I showed.
Yeah.
It doesn't show that you're trying to build a community. It doesn't show that you actually care about. I'm sorry, BZ. It doesn't show that you really care about people. It doesn't show that you really care that you're trying to uplift anybody. It just shows that you're jealous. You know what I mean? You've been having this greed-eye envy of somebody just because they always got some fresh Jordans on. You know what I mean? Well, why don't you put yourself in a position to do that yourself? Or here's the thing: why don't you ask them, "Yo, man, I see you always got Jordans on. Yo, how you get your Jordans?" Maybe they'll hook you up.
Yeah.
But you being such a hater, you can't even get the hookup. You such a hater, you can't even give them a compliment. You hating so bad, you can't even comment them on what they have. You know what I'm saying? And so now, since you're being a hater, you know what I mean, you're not even able to get in a position that you're supposed to be in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we gotta stop that in our community. We gotta stop hating on each other, man. You know what I'm saying? If I know DJ Eddie is great in music, which he is, you know what I'm saying? And I know that there's things in music that I may need, or somebody in music that may need his help. You know what I mean? Am I gonna be like, oh man, yo man, Eddie, you know what I mean? He may be all good in music, man, but man, you know what I mean? He ain't all that, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? On some crazy stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? On some goofy stuff. Or am I gonna use the gift that this man has in order to help uplift, you know, that person? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. We don't want to use people's gifts, their talents, or their connections to help ourselves or help each other. We rather tear them down. We would rather tear them down. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. This is what I try to tell people. In life, it's chess, not checkers. Right? That's a Bay Area slogan. You know what I mean? It's chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? If a person has better connections than you, you have to utilize those connections effectively. You know what I mean? You cannot go and now try to, you know, sabotage or take away from somebody who has more connections than you. It's never going to work in your benefit. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to work in your honor. You know what I mean? So you just got to know who you're speaking to. You got to know your audience, and you got to know how to operate. You know what I mean? When you're in the world. You know what I mean? If I'm in the music industry and I just got started, I'm not going to diss Jay-Z. I'm not, because it could ruin my whole career. I'm just starting. This is a man who has several platinum albums. I'm going to diss him? Come on, man. We just got to be smarter, man.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, I just wanted to pick up one point, because I know Mr. Intellectual Soapbox always talks about projection pretty frequently, and it's one thing in terms of projection, right? If you are a thief, you think that everyone else is a thief like you. You know what I mean? So the way you move, you expect everyone else to be moving like that. If you're a cheater, think everyone is a cheater too, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, I might as well cheat because, man, even though I haven't caught them, they cheating too, right? That's the type of projection. If I'm a thug, right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna rob him through. I know he would rob me if he got the chance. You know what I mean? Like, you think that everyone is thinking like you. If you're a thief, if you're a thug, ruffian, miscreant, you feel me? Loser, you know what I mean? If you a dusty, you think that everyone is like you know what I mean? It's just a form of projection, no matter what you have categorized yourself as, you know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy that regardless of your class level, people project. Even people that are quote unquote high value, they project that on you, right? If they're out eating caviar and paying $1,000 a plate, they expect for you to be able to afford that and enjoy this affluent lifestyle too, right? Because you're high value. Why would you be around me? But it's like, yeah, I might be high value, but I might be simplistic. I might be high value and vegan. You know what I mean? You know, I might have come from a crime family, but I might be the choir boy out the family. But people project whatever they are onto you. I'm a thug, so M3 has to be a thug. I'm a cheater, so my girl has to be cheating. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But it's also context be easy, right? Because here's the thing. Everybody could be tempted by these different things, right? And I'm just gonna make this quick point because I don't want to take away from the conversation, right? People may be tempted by certain things or certain aspects, right? Like, you may be tempted to do something, you may be tempted to cheat, steal, whatever, right? You may be tempted, but there's a difference between being tempted and reacting upon it. And I think that's also like another thing in our community too. Like, you know, like you said, like just because certain people are tempted or certain people are put in certain circumstances, we automatically just project that on everybody. You know what I'm saying? And like, no, like, okay, you know, we may both lose $100, right? Now, the way you act on it, salute the Marcus. The way you may act on it may be the same as me, or it may be different, right? But we both incurred the same loss. We both lost $100. You know what I'm saying? But how we respond to that is different.
Yeah.
So I think in the hood, right, or in our communities, right, we just automatically think that everybody should have the same response, right? Something happened in the hood, we all should feel this way. It's like, well, nah, I don't feel that way. Well, you a sellout, you this, you that. Why gotta be a sellout? Because my perspective is different. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Why do I have to be a coon because I don't want to vote for this person? Or I don't feel like these politicians are gonna work in our community. Or I don't feel like these relationships are gonna work in our community. Why am I automatically weird or a coon or I'm a sellout just because I have a different perspective? I'm not even saying I'm trying to take away from the community. You know what I mean? And salute to Mr. Bryant. I see you, Mr. Bryant. You know what I mean? Salute to him.
Bryant.
The best moderator in the world, Mr. Bryant. You know what I mean? He putting in the work. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, why should, you know what I'm saying, I now have to agree with you just based on the fact that you have a different perspective? And when I don't agree with you, you willing to tarnish my whole manhood. You want to tarnish who I am as a person. You wanted to put my family name and my legacy and completely shame that and degrade that. All because I don't agree with your views. You know what I'm saying? And that has to stop, man. We gotta let people have their views and let them say what they feel and not completely degrade that person just because they feel differently.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that's very well said, gentlemen. You know, we gotta stop, like, you know, the hate, because that's what gets a lot of people caught up. It gets a lot of people in trouble too. Instead of like just congratulating the person, and like you guys said before, you know, well, I'm gonna say this in my own way. You can't learn if you're too busy trying to destroy. Okay? So when people have something to offer, learn from what that person have and take it in and try to apply it yourself. You never know, like, what could happen. You probably will be able to do something far greater than what you ever even expected or what you could even imagine. And that's because you decided to put yourself out there to ask for help. But I get it. A lot of people are too afraid to ask for help because, you know, they feel like people are going to shut them down. So instead of asking for help, you want to try to get rid of that person that you look at as your competitor. But by the end of the day, you both lose. But go ahead, gentlemen.
I was gonna say, stop looking at this whole thing like it's a competition. You know, especially if we're having a good.
Right now, we're having a good conversation about being positive. We're not competing with one another. We're not. You know what I mean? If we're bringing ideas to the table, let's say if Mr. Best has a better idea, he brings it to the table. I'm not competing with him. If it's a better idea, that's just what it is. You know, I'm just saying to me. But we got to stop competing with each other, man. We got to stop. I may see, you know, Mr. Best, you know, he may be riding, you know, he may be riding on 24s, 26s, go ramps. I might be on 24s. Listen, I salute you, man. I am not a hater. I am a congratulator, man. You know, that doesn't mean I gotta compete with you. You know, we're not competing with each other, man. We family. We gotta start treating each other like family, man, especially in our community. We gotta start doing that. You know what I mean? There's ways. When there's a will, there's a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. We can get to it. We telling you right now, you know, if you need information, if you want to know anything about programs that I know out here, come and talk to me. I know you need a free computer. Listen, I got you. I know. I'll show you where to go. Free clothes, free t-shirts, all that stuff. Free phone. I can take you there. I give you the address. You know, say free tablet. I can get that for you. That's fine. I know the address. I got the information on all that stuff, man. You know, just you know, closed mouth don't get fed. If you need help, say something. You know, I'm not going to go out and tell your business to nobody else because it ain't nobody else's business. You know, no, you don't owe me anything. Okay, yes, you got up on your feet. Listen, I helped you out with this job. You don't owe me anything. It's not. I'm not going to go out and spread your business and say, well, I did this for. I'm not going to do that, man. You know, but I'm a congratulator. I'm up trying to uplift my people, trying to help my people. That's all. That's all I'm in for. It's all I'm in for. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do.
So do y'all think that comes from having the crabs in the barrel mentality? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because it's easy for them. See, your biggest comparator is yourself, but if you have someone that you feel like that's on your level, then that's like playing like a video game, but on easy mode. In reality, your competitors, your true competitors, don't even look at you like you're a part of the competition because you're out there keep on like destroying yourselves like a little glitch. So they're gonna bypass you anytime because they know our routine. But see, we focus on our routine as well as opposed to their routine. Like BZ was saying something like that earlier. So if we start to focus on what the other people are doing to be successful, then we could learn how to do that for ourselves. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give you the reality of it. I have like a neighbor, and I'm not gonna disclose like the nationality, but one of them, is a truck driver. The other one has her own family, like franchise or something like that. Like they're, you could tell they're well-to-do people, But the thing is, if I were to try to ask for help, which I did, before, or ask for any type of advice, they're gonna tell me to my face they don't know or they don't speak English that well.
Yeah.
And the reason why they'll tell you that is because they know the key secret. And the key secret is they keep all that stuff to themselves within their own community. Because they're gonna be in competition with us. Except that we're not even a part of the running. You know what I mean? Every nationality looks out for their own community, no matter who you are. It's not just a black and white thing, but it's an every community type of thing. See, the reason why these people don't have to say like, white and white crime, Mexican crime, Asian crime or whatever, Asian hate, or however you want to call it, is because even though there's crimes everywhere, but they're established. The majority of them are established. No matter what, they know one thing that we haven't even mastered. And that's circulating our money within the community so it could be a perpetual loop and it could help fund us. They do that all the time, bro. But what do we do when we get money? We try to take it from them. We try to make sure that, oh man, this other black guy, same nationality as me, is doing better than me. I'm gonna stop him at all costs. He can't be successful. Not on my watch.
We don't literally say that. We just like a lot of us say that in our minds. Those that are negative.
Yeah. I'm not saying that you're saying that, but the actions is.
Yeah.
If you could translate those actions and make it to words, that's exactly what we're doing. But let's put that same energy into the next person that's not like us. Why can't we have that?
Well, because we're collectively lost and we've been conditioned to be this way. It's been a project of social engineering. Yes, you can say to your blue in the face personal responsibility, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, etc. But if you know about psychology, conditioning, that they have highly detrimental effects, on people's different psyche. But the thing is, people haven't realized that it's like, I didn't make it like this, right? In terms of segregating and categorizing people by race. I never made it like that, but that's just the society and the system that we're brought into. It's a racial hierarchy. Whether you like it or not, whites are at the top. And unfortunately, we are the downtrodden and disenfranchised.
Mhm.
And it's not just because we didn't work hard enough. Yeah,
Right.
we got some people that's like cutting up and messing up, but that's in every group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No other group was systemically and strategically targeted like us. And we actually target ourselves too. Like every other group is practicing, anti-black practices, and then we're practicing it too. The difference is with them is that they realize that your race and ethnic group is your team, so let's say that black people are the Warriors and let's just say white people are the Celtics. It doesn't matter if you hate the Warriors and you like, man, forget Steph Curry, he never passed me the ball, don't like Andre Wiggins, I'm going to the Celtics. Cool, the Celtics will accept you because you can tell them the Warriors plays, you can tell them Steph Curry's weaknesses, but you know what they don't see you as? A Celtic. You're just a Laker on the Celtics team. They never fully accept you as a Celtic. So what the heck is the point of joining that team anyways? That's essentially what we do. Oh, we're Lakers. I'm tired of the Lakers. I'm gonna go join the Celtics, the Rockets, any team that will accept me. But the team really doesn't accept you. You're trying to assimilate to a group that's actively trying to segregate from you. You know what I mean? They will take your handouts. And when some people say, oh, I never had any issues with the Mexicans, or I never had any issues with the Asians, and they follow it up by saying, while I was shopping at their nail shop, while I was buying burritos from them, while I was getting clothes from them. Of course, you wouldn't have had a problem with them then. You know what I mean? They see you as a cash cow. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
and think about it. People in the hood is supposed to be so broke and dusty, right? Do you think a strategic business would move their business entity in a place where it's a bunch of broken, dusty people?
Mm.
Right? That would be a
Mm.
foolish business decision. No, they moved it there because it's money over there. It's
Yeah.
just we don't allow it to circulate within us due to the lack of trust, which goes back to the social conditioning and us using the anecdotes, right? Oh man, my family I can't trust my family, so why would I trust Mr. M3's business? You know what I mean? Last time I went to a black owned business, they gave me rude service, so I'm gonna go to the Chinaman. It's like he giving you rude service too, but it's like, yeah, but he ain't black. I'd rather get it. You know what I mean? It's like we come up with these delusional things. I remember Kwame Brown said he had a shop right in front of the hood, and people were saying like, man, that nigga already rich. You know what I mean? So they'll go buy some food from someone else. M3 already doing good. I'm gonna just go to this place.
Right.
Them other businesses is already doing good. They doing better than the black person that you shunning. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it's like it's a mental disease. You know what I mean? A
That's what
lot
it
of us
is.
are mentally ill, and this is not just limited to black folks. It's just, and I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, but if you look up the term of mental illness, most people would qualify.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you right about that, bro.
Man, I want to welcome to the panel, man. Queen Forever 2K. Queen, what's going on? You know what I
What
mean?
up,
What do you
Queen?
want to add to the subject? I don't know if you've been listening or not.
Not really. It's been a lot going on where I'm at. I'm done. But yeah. Can you guys give me a quick synopsis or recap? I've been listening off and on. Don't look like that M3. Okay?
Yeah. Queen.
You let me be alone. Oh Lord.
It's hot, man.
We're talking
So
about like the community. We're
I
talking
mean,
about
we can
like,
give you a question.
oh yeah, go ahead,
you
go
wanna
ahead, go ahead, go ahead, Beezy, go ahead, Beezy.
what's my question? Chill. What's up?
No, I
Shit.
think, yeah, I was
What's
just
up,
thinking
Queen?
since all the stuff that we covered, I just thought it would probably be more appropriate to just, set up a question and, just have her cook like that since, you know, um a lot of the stuff, we covered, so I just would say my question for Queen would be, what could Black people do to overcome all of the negativity, whether it's being the media, the music, and basically all of the negative propaganda that's being pushed, to make us seem like we're just the most savage beings on earth. What could we do to combat that negativity? Or should I say, what positive solution could we do to combat all of the negativity that our community is faced with?
That's 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 a serious question. That's I don't think a damn thing. Like it's too much ratchetness out there, and people just love it, and it's unfortunate. Like from the music to the viral videos, I don't understand. I don't. I mean, sometimes I feel ashamed being Black, like, especially if I'm around that that situation where, you know, there's a ratchetness occurrence happening next to me, and I'm right there, and I'm like, Lord help me, like I don't want to be associated with it. um, oh no, it's got
Okay,
I
so
don't
what?
know.
So when we seeing these twerk videos and stuff, is there anything that could be done to combat that?
The twerk video?
Well, not just twerk videos. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, like, maybe it's some
Well, I
twerk
mean, we
videos
gotta we
or
gotta
like
we gotta instill
films.
in our kids to want more than being Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B. We gotta encourage them to want more from that. There are a lot of people in the communities doing a lot of great things, but unfortunately they're not being highlighted. I mean, especially in the Oakland, you know, all tied up. I forgot his name. He was just
Yeah, it's
um
one called Stepping Stones too.
yeah,
It's a lot of organizations out there.
it's a lot of people doing great things, and maybe what we can do is highlight them more, you know, like doing shows on those and highlighting people that are doing things in the community to build the community up, you know, instead of perpetuating the ratchetness. So yeah, it's a lot, we gotta wanna do better to be better, but unfortunately, if you don't inspire the next generation to um want more than a viral video, it's hard to reach them. It's hard to, you know, I was just on the phone with my sister. They live in the East Coast somewhere, and they're at open house, meaning, with the new freshmen coming into the high school, and there's there was a fight in the bathroom, and it's already viral. My niece was like, "Yeah, I know. They know the girl. They know the girls who was beat up. They know the girl's mother. And this girl don't fight nobody. She don't put her hands on nobody. She's very quiet. But her friend wanted a viral video, ripped her ponytail off, and already like 50 kids done shared it already, and it within an hour. So we
Oh
we
man.
gotta want to do better, you know. And they're at an open house, and they're fighting in the bathroom with a viral moment. You know what I mean? Like these kids, they're crazy, And I mean, we look at these parents and we go, like the one parent, those parents that were saying, "Oh, my daughter want to twerk on a video. Look at her room. She's nasty. She's this." Like everyone looked down on them parents for shaming the kids, but it's almost like sometimes you got to do that, but then you don't want to go too far because then they could be bullied. So I don't know. I'm baffled. I don't know what to do, man. I'm just trying to live in my bubble, try to help the little bubbles near me, whoever I come in contact with, to say, you can do better, you can want better, but it's hard, you know? It's like what is it? How people say when they get that, they taste their first usage of drugs, everybody's trying to chase that first high. It's hard to tell someone you're never going to get it again because they have in their mind what they want. So I don't know. I think we need the Black Panthers again.
Damn. Okay,
They
let
need
me.
to walk. They need to walk around with belts.
So they
Belts.
need belts now instead of the guns. Okay, okay.
They need belts, and then just
Damn,
whoop the hell out of these kids. I don't know.
damn. The Black
Man, that's
Panther
nice to
What
reform
hear.
what
party.
movie?
Jeez.
What movie is that? Pootie Tang, where he
Oh
got a belt.
man. Yeah, he booty chain belt. His belt can reach around the table and all. Like he had like some. He had I don't know what you
He
call that.
he get
Lasso
Pootie
or
Tang.
something.
Pootie Tang will had a he will have a how Batman had his bat phone. He would
Mm-hmm.
have a ratchet phone, and he's like, "Oh, they ratchet in North Carolina at or Virginia Beach. I'm going to Virginia Beach. Pootie Tang." And then his belt go out
Shout
there.
out Tang. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite
Anyway,
movies, man. Booty Tang. I know sometimes it didn't make no sense, and sometimes I understand what he was saying. But I think once I watched it several times, I started to understand. Anyhow, I think another thing that will solve, you know, us being disunified, and thank you, Queen, for sharing your perspective, is that we also got to stop, this thing where we are separating each other by where we live or by what coast we live on or whatever. And I tell everybody, I'm not East Coast, I'm not West Coast, I'm not South Coast, I'm not North. I'm all coast. You know what I'm saying? Because I got family everywhere.
you
You know what I
Earth.
mean? You know what I
What's
mean?
up,
Yeah,
Earth?
Earth is my turf. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all coast because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? The reason I say that is because at the end of the day, we all are a reflection of each other. You know what I'm saying? And we got to see that. You know what I mean? And if we don't see that, then guess what? It's gonna take away from us completely being unified. You know what I mean? And they've done enough to separate us by coast, by by other parts of geography, by language, everything. So you can have two people who are of African descent, and one person speaks, Spanish, another person speaks Creole, and they automatically think that they're better than each other because the colonizer and oppressor has told them that they're better than each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing that they've done, and we got to see that. We got to see that we are not each other's enemy, man. That's what it really boils down to. We're not each other's enemy, and we got to really figure that out. We really got to see that. You know what I mean? The more that we see each other as an enemy based on geography or based on language or based on some other bullshit that don't even matter, it's going to continue to keep us divided. So we won't be able to have these
Mm-hmm.
solution-oriented steps because we're just divided on the most smallest thing. You know what I mean? You think you're better than me because I like, with my rice and beans, I want to eat chicken, you want to eat pork, so you automatically think you're better. How does that make any sense? But these are the these are the minute things that we fight over in our community. You know what I mean? The most smallest, dumbest thing.
People be fighting over if you don't like flats.
Yeah. Say it again, Beezy. Say it again. You got cut off a little bit.
Yeah, people having those chicken wings and some like drumsticks and flats, and people be arguing. What? You like flat? I'm like, bro, is that something really to argue over? Is LeBron better than Jordan? Like, people will really be one. I'll pull up on you and slap you over me saying LeBron is better than Jordan.
Mm.
Come on, bro. The phones is better than the Jordans. Like, just literally, I've heard crazy debates that are meaningless, but people was yelling at each other. Have you seen those versus battles? You know what I mean? Like, people be getting riled up over those. I'm like, you didn't get paid for that.
Mm.
Talk about a sports
Word,
team.
word, yo, word,
Look at
word.
a sports
Exactly.
team. What do they say? They say my team, right? They'll say the Cowboys, my team. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you own stocks in the Cowboys? No. It's like Jerry Jones gave you.
Mm.
So why you keep saying my team? And I'm a Lakers and Raiders fan. I used to be like that, but when you saying my team, they didn't consult you when they moved to Las Vegas. They didn't say, oh, be easy. The Raiders are your team. I'm gonna keep them in Oakland. No, they said I'm taking my team to Las Vegas. You know,
Mm.
And people hear all the time, the Warriors are my team. Look, I love the Warriors, but we got to get out of this delusional thing of it's my team and the Niners, bro. All you got to do is get on social media and say F what someone's team is, F the Yankees, F the Niners, F the Patriots, bro. You'll People will come crazy at you like death threats, and they have no stake in the team.
None.
We got to get out of this delusionary state, bro.
Yo, be easy. Yo, what you just said, right? About like, do you even own part of the team? That's not the same thing. Oh, just my little audio. I'm not audio, but visual. That's not the same thing. Like, it reminds me of like Dave Chappelle. So, when the community, I'll say the cancel community, try to, cancel Dave Chappelle. Not sure. Hold on. Fix my little. There we go. I was kind of fuzzy a little bit. But anyways, when he made a joke, okay, and they try to cancel him, and they try to go to Netflix and protest. Remember about the unification, right? They was all unified to go to Netflix, the company, to protest to cancel Dave Chappelle and take him off of Netflix. And Netflix wasn't going to stand for that. Now you may think like, okay, like, oh, Netflix, they're true to the world, they're true to the people. No, it ain't got nothing to do with that. And salutes, Viking. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah,
but the thing is, like the reason why Netflix stood behind Dave Chappelle was because Dave Chappelle owned a ton of shares, like stocks of Netflix. So if they try to cancel Dave Chappelle could cancel his stocks with Netflix. You know what I mean? So he knew. So Dave Chappelle was a smart person. He knew what he was putting himself into, but he knew a way to control his narrative and not allow other people to control him. And then fast forward, a school, dedicated to him, and they had his name on there. And Dave Chappelle came to our school, told a story, a couple of jokes or whatever, and he changed that. He changed his name from out. He changed out his name from that school, and then he changed it. I forgot what it was called. It was
They protested. Let me just.
They did. Yeah.
They were honoring him from his high school alma mater, and then people were saying that he was transphobic, so they came and protested it. The school was still willing to go forward, like Netflix. You know how they protested Netflix, and they was like, yeah, we not getting rid of Dave. The school was still going to go forward with it, but Dave Chappelle said, basically due to the backlash, he'll just withdraw his name. Like, don't even name my school, don't even name it after me. If this is what is gonna happen, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? So, there was some unification, but like, whose life did that save? You know what I mean? When it's time to unify to actually save some kids' lives, to educate some kids, to bring some kids out of poverty, I don't see that same unification. But to limit Dave Chappelle's speech about, trans people, I've seen highly organized protests. You know what I mean? Kind of weird, but I'll digress.
But see that I'm gonna say this, right? I think with the whole Chappelle thing, I think Chappelle should have just been smarter in how he delivered his message. It kind of reminds me of the whole thing with Whoopi Goldberg, right? And she made the comments about the Jewish community. When you make certain comments about certain communities, you gotta expect the heat to come, because that's just what's gonna happen. Like, you say something about a certain community, they coming at you.
They gonna come.
Like, they coming, lock ready and ready to knock it down. They're not coming there, to kind of talk to you or kind of try to figure things out. No, they coming to get you out of there. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like the Jewish community, LGBTQ, the Catholic community, certain communities, man, you say something about them, you gotta be ready for the heat to come, because it's coming. So I think Chappelle should have just understood, like, if I make this joke, it's gonna be on. And that's what it was. And I support Chappelle. That's the bro. I support him. It's just that at times we just gotta be smarter in how we move around things, or just kind of know when things will go left. Like, all right, I'm gonna say this is about to go left, but whatever, I'm about to say it. And if you want to take on the consequences of that, then it is what it is.
Oh, let me say this though. I don't think that Dave Chappelle like wasn't being like smart in what he said, because see the thing is, unlike Whoopi Goldberg didn't really expect to get a lot of backlash, which means that she did not properly, thought that whatever that she said was going to have some consequences. She didn't really think that through, that everything that she said about the trans community, that it was going to come back at her. Same thing with, former woke Nick Cannon. When Nick Cannon was overly woke, he thought that, he was invincible. He thought he was aligned with the Black Panthers and ready to go against Eminem. But the moment he started tackling the Jews, that's when they put their foot down and they show him the reality. Negro man, we're going to unify together now. And we're going to pull your show out because we own that network and we own you. Okay? And when it came back around, he had to slap the wokeness out of him and go back to sleep and apologize. Now, with Dave Chappelle, although to some, it's easy for them to say, well, okay, that wasn't smart for what you said. But Dave Chappelle was actually tactful about it. He had that I didn't give a damn type of mentality. But it goes back into using leverage. Now, see, if Dave Chappelle didn't own Netflix, or let's just say he went to Hulu, but he had no shares of that. If you're going to say something like that, and you're going to have to expect something that you're going to get canceled. You know what I mean? From a network that allow you to pretty much use like your comedic voice and get paid from them. If you didn't put no shares in Netflix and you said that stuff, I would say, that was not smart, Dave. You're gonna lose out the bag. If that's your purpose, that is. But Dave knew, that look, I got leverage on this particular company. So if this company tells me, yo, I don't want you, Dave, or they try to pull him out of his contract, do some funny business, he's going to take all his funds out from Netflix and then put it to another company that's willing to invest in his talents. Because he learned those mistakes from the Dave Chappelle show. I forgot how much they was giving him at the time, but it wasn't that much.
He was getting paid, bro.
Like, he was getting paid, and honestly, that's one of the most iconic shows of all time. But also, there was a deeper message in there. They were offering him $50 million, and you know what he did? He walked away from it. So I do agree with what Mr. Best is saying. However, I think the point becomes slightly mute when it comes to Dave Chappelle, simply because he's shown a propensity to say, hey, I really don't care about the bag. I'm secure. I don't know anyone that would just walk away from 50 mil. He did it. And like M3 said, the only way he's acting like this with Netflix is because he has a track record of walking away from 50 mil. He's essentially saying, Netflix, I don't really need y'all. Y'all need me. Yes, Netflix could find other comedians. Are they going to find one better, funnier, more profitable than Dave Chappelle? Most likely not, which is why they had no problem giving him over 60 plus mil for his Netflix special. So, and he already knew that the community, see, Nick Cannon thought he was above reproach. He thought he can just say something about the J community and not have any repercussions. And they gave this Negro wake up call. Dave Chappelle has repeatedly said, like, "Hey, already know this community is gonna come for blood and come for the smoke." And he said, "I'm here for all of that. I want all of the smoke. I want all of the blood. That's the only difference. Because Nick Cannon was like, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no blood. I want to see something that was actually true. But as soon as the J people put a slight scintilla amount of smoke on them, man, Nick Cannon
Yeah.
backing and backpedaling like a defensive back.
And Bees, you might have to add one little thing too about the show. And here's the thing, right? And it wasn't like Wildin' Out, was doing horrible. It was actually like a great show. Now, of course,
Daryl Long, what's up, family? I see you.
What's good, D?
Hold on. Oh, salute, Daryl Long, man. Good to see you, bro. But yeah, it wasn't like the show was going bankrupt or it was going downhill. Like ratings was definitely up high. Now, of course, they brought the show back, obviously, but they had to flex their power just a little tiny bit just to show Nick Cannon, yo, bro. Remember, you don't even own 100% rights to Viacom, to your own. To your own show, which that was a horrible mistake because all this time until the Jews flexed their power against them, we thought that Nick Cannon had some type of shares into Wildin' Out, or some type of contract, but he never did that. So basically, he was the employee, and Viacom was the employer, and the CEO was the J Crew, and he got jaded out. So,
M3, I got a question, bro.
Yeah,
I got a question for everybody, right? So, is it a double-edged sword in a sense, right? Like, cause we want our messages to be heard, right?
Yeah.
But essentially, and shout out to Daryl Long too. I see you, bro. I see you also in the comments. I'll try to get everybody to share real quick, but and this is for everybody, not just for M3, it's for everybody, right? It's a double-edged sword. Like, should we still share our opinions and views, right? But yet knowing the backlash is gonna come, and when the backlash comes, right? Like, we know it's coming, right? And we know it's gonna probably affect our community and probably affect our, the things that we're working on. Because, like, Be Easy said, like, with the whole thing with Dave Chappelle and the school thing, right? Like, he still was able to flex on the Netflix thing, but it affected something else, that he was related to, right? So, in my estimation, like, I'm not saying we should backpedal, but at times, do we really understand the effects of what we're saying and how it affects us overall, right? And should we still speak our mind knowing that the backlash is going to come? Like, we know the backlash is going to come, right? It's going to happen. So should we still speak our mind regardless? Like, or should we just say certain things are not up for public consumption? You know what I mean? So, like, how should we approach it? Is it a case by case basis? Like, I'm asking everybody.
Well, let me go ahead and tackle this in then, and then I'll let everybody else cook out. So, for starts, right? To answer that question, it's a definite no. Well, it's a yes, it's a no and a yes. Not a yes, no, but no and a yes. No first, because the thing is, although we do have this fake type of law that's like freedom of speech, our freedom of speech is no longer granted. It's no longer acceptable in society. So we're in the stage where it's 2022. People are extra tight and extra sensitive, and they're extra pearly. You know what I mean? They clutch in their pearls. So because we live in a community, right, of people, right, that can't really handle reality or any type of truth that goes against like society's narrative, like anything that we say, they have the power and the funds to cancel us. Because this all starts off like what type of community has the funds that puts out in America that will allow, things to kind of get switched around. Because there's a double-edged sword like on their part. Kind of like a contradiction, as some people will say. So if you think about this, you have only a few options. I think to me, the only times you could voice your opinion about something and you feel like you can get away with it is if like you're on like this Joe Rogan type of level. And no, I'm not talking because he's white or whatever, because I know people will get to that. But you're so successful and you have so much potential and contribution into society that people are going to want to respond to you no matter what. Maybe one company will pull themselves away from you, but another company will try to hire you because they see that potential. It's like the stock market. What goes down is eventually going to bounce right back up. But the thing is, you got to have something to offer to use as leverage. A lot of people, unfortunately, like a lot of people talk too much, but they don't really put anything down to protect themselves. Okay? I gotta give it to like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna give it to the like, no, I'm gonna say LBGT community, right? At least, they know how to be unified, you know, by putting their monies into communities that's gonna help other people. When you're able to put those type of investments into America, you're gonna be protected no matter what. That's the same thing for women. Women are protected in America because they're unified. They know how to put their money into the right places. They're the biggest consumers in America. So because they're the biggest consumers, America has to cater to them and make sure that they're right at all costs. Because money talks, but it depends on who is controlling the money. If you have the most money to put into it, man, you're gonna have the most control. John Sinatra salutes to my brother, and he says facts. Yes, but I'm just gonna say that's my personalized perspective because maybe my facts or what other people see as facts can be nullified by someone else who has a different opinion to it.
Thank you for sharing that. What anybody else want to comment on this? And salute to John as well. We throw my headphone. Salute to John as well. John, I know you definitely part of the non-relationship family. I know you cool with Beezy, so if you want to come out, bro, you definitely can. Anybody else want to share their perspective? Yes or no?
I think Bees was sure.
Which on what in particular? My bad.
The question I posed is like, should we still, share our views, even though like it's a double-edged sword, like even though we know like the backlash could be there, right? Should we still share our views, knowing that it may affect what we do, or it can affect our community, right? Because we're talking about building our community. But if I'm sharing a view and I'm giving perspective, can I ultimately really be prepared for what's going to happen? Because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like I want to share what I got to say, but yet I know that what I'm sharing may be detrimental to my community, or it may affect my community. You know what I mean? So should I still share it or no?
Okay. I think that question, there's no like complete answer, like or one size fits all answer, because it will be based on the scenario, circumstances, etc. I will say this: not everything needs to be said. You know what I mean? And if you're trying to be a powerful person, a powerful entity in union, if you believe in the laws of power, one of the laws of power is number 4, actually, is always say less than necessary. You know what I mean? Because when you're listening, that's actually how you learn. When I'm over here, dropping the game, the ism, I'm not learning anything. I'm regurgitating things that I've already retained. You know what I mean? Information that I already have that I'm bestowing, to the universe. You know what I mean? So you learn by listening. But usually people always want to talk, hear themselves, think whatever they say sounds poetic, and they're willing to say it anytime, anywhere. Doesn't matter if it's kids around, whose feelings is going to hurt, if it's inappropriate or not, because I have the quote unquote freedom of speech. Yeah, technically you do, but do you really? And freedom of speech doesn't give you the freedom of consequence. I tell people all the time, a racist white person has the freedom to call me a Nigger. Nothing
Mm-hmm.
is stopping them. They have a free will to do that, just as well as I have a free will to retaliate verbally or physically. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I will have to live with the consequences. Either I'm gonna get away with it, either I'm gonna get caught with the law. Either this person, we might be engaged in mutual combat. That's what freedom is, right? So I'm all for people exercising their freedoms, but I always tell you, your freedom of speech or expression doesn't absolve you of the consequences that come with it. Dave Chappelle had the freedom to say whatever he wants about trans people, just as well as that school, right or wrong, had their freedom to consequentially deny him access of
Damn.
putting his name on there. You know what I mean? So it's like, we need to now. Dave Chappelle, he walked away from 50 mil. He has hundreds of millions of dollars. He can withstand, you know what I mean, certain backlash. This is what I don't like. I do like the celebrity comparisons in terms of breaking down the scenarios, but what happens is people get diluted with the status, right? So they'll be like, well, Dave Chappelle did it. I'll walk away from my job too. Like, hold on. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
you don't want to do that.
you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? People will be like, well, Sierra, she got her a Russell Wilson. I'll be able to get me one. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, don't act like Sierra was just Sierra, right? She was a platinum artist, dancer, beautiful. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
people say these diluted things and just, well, this person did that. So that's where, you know, you're supposed to use these celebrity scenarios because they are just real people and related to a average, you know, common person. Don't leave them on that upper echelon of celebrities and think that you could somehow compare to that. You know how many times when Gucci got out of jail, I heard a bunch of people was saying that Gucci and Keisha's their relationship goals. I'm like, what? So what? If your dude go to jail, you ain't about to hold him down for X amount of years
At
that she
all.
held. So like, how are you even saying that's a relationship goal? They be saying Beyonce and Jay-Z, Rihanna and ASAP is like, what? You don't even know what their relationship is like. So you trying to compare your stuff, and that's the same thing that they do with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle talked about trans people. I could do that, and then your YouTube channel is shut down, and you like, why they do that to me? It's like, come on now. If they would do it to Chappelle, you know, you see they shut Jordan Peterson down. You don't, most of these people, and you know what I mean? I'm kind of indifferent about Jordan Peterson. You know, sometimes he say some hacky stuff, sometimes he say some racist stuff. Either way, if they will shut him down, and most people don't got as even close to his affluence, his subscribers or anything, they'll shut you down in a second, bro. I got shut, bro. I got blocked on a social media site for saying I said devil, and the word that I used was, you know, the opposite color of black. So, you know, it rhymes with Sprite. I basically said Sprite devil. They blocked me for that. You know what I mean? Literally blocked me for that. And I've seen people, they sharing twerking stuff where they vaginas out. I've seen
Man.
people sharing fights, and I say one thing critical about another group, and they block me. They let you say nigga all day. I can say nigga, nigga, nigga this, nigga, nigga, nigga that. Nothing will ever happen. I can even add the ER. Nothing will ever happen. Try to use a Jewish slur and see what will happen. Try to use a Hispanic slur, see what will happen. Try to use an Asian slur. What are they gonna say? Stop Asian hate. But if you use any disparaging word against blacks, no one has an issue. Blacks don't have an issue. No other groups have an issue. The algorithm doesn't have an issue. It might even boost your algorithm to be
It
saying
will
nigga,
boost your
nigga, nigga.
algorithm.
It's insane, bro.
There's a comedian,
It's
Asian
crazy.
comedian. I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna send it to Intellectual. There's also a TED Talk of I don't know if he's a music exec, but he was talking about how like they'll say, you know, even in the music, how they'll feed us oh yeah, let's support them. Oh yeah, they're talking about deleting other black people talking about deleting each other. Oh yeah, well let's look at that. We can promote that. But if you talk about like women or abusing women or other cultures, how they'll say, oh no, we don't want to promote that. We don't want to be behind that. But when it's about us attacking each other, how a lot of the music industry will support you and you will actually be looked down upon if you don't talk about that. But there was an Asian comedian, and he said, I found what he was saying was funny, but I also was highly offended. He said, you know, black people are so cool. They're the only race that can take a racist derogatory word and make it cool. And I was like, that is a slap
Mm.
in the face. He was like, you don't see Asian people talking about, oh yeah, what's up, my chick? My chick. He
Is
said,
that
we
the
don't
same
do
dude
that.
that got pulled off stage? Tweet. That's the same dude that got pulled off stage.
I only saw a short reel of it. I'm not sure if he got pulled off stage, but I'm just saying, this is what they think of us. They promote it and they say, oh, it's cool, but no other race does it.
That's a fact.
That's the problem.
It's crazy.
We think it's empowering. It's not. Ask, ask, be around old people who were called that, who were told, go in the back of the restaurant, sit in the back of the bus. You know, ask them if it was cool to be called that. That's the problem. We don't respect what our elders had to go through at a word that has so much bite and meaning and dehumanization attached to it. It's not a cool word at all. So, but you know, that's part of the problem.
Now you
You know,
absolutely right. I did
I
I
I
did see
I
that
feel
clip.
like some of these people need to be you know, they need to know what it feels like to be lynched and flogged, and they won't have the same mindset. I feel like
Wow.
pulling the trigger is a sucker way out. That's an easy way out.
Mm.
Some of them need to be go through what some of these, you know, some of our ancestors went through, and maybe they wouldn't have the same taste in their mouth when they hear that word. They need to be branded like animals or put around, you know, work in a cotton field. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
But
this
that's
is the
my world.
positive. This is the positive about all of the negative stuff that we've been through. You know, as downtrodden, disenfranchised, savage, dumb, broken, dusty as we supposed to be, literally no other group could be able to endure what we've been through. Like literally, if you want to talk about, you know, I'm in the Bay, so you know it's a melting pot out here. So I got plenty of Asian folks, but it's no way that they can endure what we went through. Literally, people were saying when COVID was around, all people were saying was Trump said that it was the Kung flu. They were saying that was a hate crime. Somehow that usurped being called an N word for years because someone said,
Mm.
oh, you guys are the cause of COVID. I don't want to get Kung flu. Then suddenly they were like, we're being hated on. And they got a bill for that. And because a couple elder Asian people got slapped up, then suddenly that was a hate crime. You know what I mean? But they didn't get slapped up because they were Asian. They got slapped up because they were a target and they may have had money. And this is where the
Mm.
delusion comes in. Think about this. If a black person that wants to commit a crime, if he'll slap a black person, why the heck wouldn't he slap an Asian or a Mexican? Because Mexicans will do this too. He robbed elote corn man on the corner. Yeah. If he robbed a black dude of Jordans, why the heck wouldn't he rob the corn man too? Would you think he's just gonna rob blacks and see a Mexican and say, hey, not gonna rob you? See an Asian and say, hey, not gonna rob you? And then when they rob them, they always want to make it seem like, oh, he robbed them because he was Mexican. No, he robbed them because when people are robbing people, they're trying to come up. So if Asians are known to have money, why wouldn't I rob them? right? If I'm a burglar, you know what I mean? So people try to make it seem like, oh, this is racial and all this stuff. No, it's about that these people are deprived economically and educationally. So they thinking anybody could get it, black, Asian, or whoever. But I do agree with what Queen said. These other groups, they'll make these all jokes and stuff, but essentially they don't think that it's funny, you know what I mean, adopting a slur and then making it cool, you know what I mean? and and this where it gets even more dicier because they feel uncomfortable saying it, right? They feel uncomfortable saying it around their parents, their grandparents, or anything. But as soon as it's time that if they get robbed or if they see some crime, suddenly that N word comes into their vocabulary. Like, oh, I thought y'all didn't even use this word. You know what I mean? You were saying, oh, why do you guys call each other that? Right? That's a family discussion. Why do you call us that? You know what I mean? That's a deeper discussion to have. But nobody wants to have that. Or people will
Mm.
say, oh, well, you guys say it all the time in rap songs. So that gives you a right to say it. Imagine if somebody was a child molester and someone was like, "Well, you did it all the time on the videos." You'll be like, "What?" You like that don't even make any sense. That's the same thing. You heard some other people saying it on a song, so that gives you right to say it. But I thought you totally don't agree with it. If I don't agree with molestation, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, well, this person done it, so this why I molested someone." Right? That it doesn't even make sense. Just like it doesn't make sense for other groups to use it for the sake of, hey, I like this song. I'm just using it because you guys use it in your songs. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, and the thing is, here's my thing. You said something too, right there. You said, "Well, you got. Why do you guys say it? Why are you worrying about us? What you mean? Why we say it? Why you can't mind your own business? Why you all up over here? We ain't all up over there. Where you at? We not saying why you turn it to a Karen? Why do y'all turn to Karens? We not saying that. Y'all worried about what we talking about up over here. That's crazy.
Yeah, but then we
But just
in
know when y'all do say it, you're thinking about us too. A lot of times when people do use that word, you're thinking about us. Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
we got to stop being, too engaging and inviting of everybody. Like we can have this discussion amongst a family and then sort it out that way. Dr. Claude Anderson talked about an anecdote of, the white man's ice being colder. You know what I mean? So essentially, I go to M3's shop. I look at M3's ice. I test his ice and like, all right. I walk over to the white man's shop and then I walk out with a bag of ice. And Claude Anderson acts like, hey, why didn't you get it from M3's shop? M3's ice was lumpy. The white man's ice was smoother, i.e., colder. Some people kind of really feel like that when we have these discussions. Like, yeah, M3 and DJ Eddie King was cooking, but I wonder what Brad and Becky has to say about this. Right? You know what I mean? Like, you need the validation of other groups just to, you know, um, even get something cracking. You know what I mean? But see, when the Jewish people are talking about what they need to do amongst their community, they ain't even gonna even let a black face ain't gonna be able to infiltrate. They won't even let you get a word out. Show me the Asian leaders talking about building
Mm,
up Asian communities and they're asking what black people think. You know what I mean? But
mm.
meanwhile, we're like, yeah, but we're all people of color, right? In the Black and Brown Alliance, ask my boy John Sinatra, ask Razik, ask Big Rig. When you go to jail, it's no Black and Brown Alliance. The quote unquote brown people, they align with the white people. They
They
go against.
is. They is
Yeah,
in prison. They show is.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's like, where is this people of color alliance where people is see, and peep this. When Asians had an anti-Asian hate bill, they were. Did you hear them say people of color once? Did you hear them say, "Hey, let's add the blacks into it"? No, they were
Nope.
cool with it being anti-Asian. But see, when we think about this, we have the Congressional Black Caucus, but they can't even say the word black. Go look at their mission statement. They're talking about communities of color and minorities. Whenever you hear people of color and minorities, you know what that means? All lives matter. That's what they mean. Every other they
Mm.
specify.
Wait,
When they
what?
had anti-Asian hate bill, they sent out hundreds of millions of dollars specifically to the Asian community. But then when they talk about blacks, they lump us in as people of color. You know what a person of color is? An Afghanistan person, a Pakistan person, someone from Thailand, someone from China. Like, come on, we're all
Mm.
people of color. No,
Mm.
Oh,
we gotta stop going for this minority people of color stuff. I'm none of that. I'm a Black American, foundational Black American, ADOS, whatever y'all want to do. I go with the foundational Black American. I think Black American will suffice,
But
but
be easy. Someone would argue with you and say, when you say you people or your people, you're part of the problem. You're perpetuating racism because there is no your people.
well, how exactly would that be perpetuating racism?
You know, I'm sorry. I just had to throw that. I had a. It was something that was said. Be
Queen, you
easy.
always
I'm
start
just
stuff.
messing with you. I'm trying
No,
to.
no, no,
I'm bad.
no.
I'm gonna be good. I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute
No,
myself.
it's all good, Queen. I didn't even take it as offense. And people love to say that black people are racist, but like, racism is a system. How could black people be racist when they have no control and no power in the system? Show me the all black
Right.
police department. No power there. Show me an all black fire department. No power there. Most of the
So
Congress is white. Show me the power there. You know what I
so
mean?
I have to go because I have a lot I gotta get done offline. But I'm gonna send these videos, and I would love for you guys to talk about it. You know, um, of what I was saying, um, because it's true. It's like when we speak up for us. And there was a woman. She's in the diversity and inclusion department, and she was on. I think it's the Breakfast Club, and she was saying how black lady, and she was saying that when you get into this field, you're not just dealing with black issues in corporate or whatever else. You're dealing with Asian, you're dealing with women, you're dealing with, you know, uh, Indian, you're dealing with everyone. LGBTQ, I think it's plus IA or something. Sorry. But anyway, you're dealing with everyone. And she was saying how when she goes to those rooms with the board, or the higher ups, and they're all of a certain race and gender, she said she never gets pushback from anything else. But as soon as she says, hey, um we need to do more for women. Oh yeah, you're right. We need to hire and have more positions of leadership for women. Oh, we need to. Oh yeah, you're right. We need to do more for that. Oh, you're right. But she said as soon as she mentions black people, she said everyone in the room starts shuffling in their seat and say, "Well, well, what does that exactly look like?" Or, what do you mean that we're doing? And she said, every situation is always pushback when it comes to us. Nobody else
Wow.
gets pushback. She said she could ask for the moon for the farm animals on Highway 101, and they'd be like, "You're right. We're gonna give you better farmland. We're gonna give you organic fertilizer." But as soon as she mentions blacks, it's always an issue. So it's really real. And I don't think people realize how real it is because it hasn't crossed their door. Reality is coming to slap the shit out of everyone. Be ready, especially if you're a Black person. Just because you haven't been slapped, that doesn't mean it's coming. You will be slapped and your reality, your bubble will be popped and you will be woken up. Just like T.O. when he said, I think a lot of what he said was BS, but when he said was, I seen it on TV, but I never thought it could happen to me. His reality, he was slapped. Somebody woke him up and said, guess what, Black man, it can happen to you. No matter how many zeros you got in your name or in your bank account, no matter what kind of accolades you have in your life, it can happen to you too. So, and on that note, I digress. Black men on the panel, knowledge and relationships, coffee time, tea dates, intellectual soapbox. Cheer, cheer. What's
Yeah.
up? You popping in that blue room, M3. I didn't mess with you today, but that white, you popping in that room.
Hey, I have to, man.
I have to give it to you. I have to give it to you. All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
All right, you
Peace
too.
out.
Good
Later,
night,
later,
Queen.
Queen.
Hey, I gotta build on what Queen was saying, because especially since she brought up the farmers, and there actually was the American Rescue Act, these little corny names that they say, like, oh, who exactly are they rescuing? Biden had allocated X amount of dollars. I don't know the exact figure, but let's just say it was a substantial amount of dollars to specifically Black farmers. But of course, we are the only ones who are coerced to say people of color. So this Black gentleman was advocating for farmers of colors. Biden was like, look, man, we want to do something for you. He approved the money. Then some white conservative farmers protested it, is hung up in litigation, even though 90% of the funds went to white farmers. They were the ones protesting it, going against Black farmers. Don't take my word for it. Look this stuff up. Now, the Biden has reversed the plan. So he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do something for Black farmers. Y'all saved me. Y'all voted for me. I wouldn't have won the election without y'all Black people. So I'm gonna show y'all that I'm a man of my word. He allocated funds. The white farmer said, nah, this is not fair, even though they had got their share to the tune of millions. Now the Black farmers got nothing. And they're basically, they said, there's a report that said Black farmers, I don't know the exact date, but up until from the past until now have lost over $300 billion in their farming equity and their acres and all of this stuff. Pretty much Black farmers is about to be extinct. You know what I mean? And Joe Biden was supposed to help that, but he didn't. He greenlit funds and then pulled back. And then speaking of this, because Queen was saying, oh, all of these other groups, they have no problem helping other groups. Don't take my word for this. Look this up. Biden admin readies 800 million more for Ukraine amid growing concern of attack on nuclear plant. Why the heck is we constantly helping Ukraine over and over and over? It says Biden has used the presidential drawdown authority at least 18 times to assist Ukraine, totaling more than 7.2 billion in defense equipment and services since August 21 to help bolster Ukraine's defenses against Russia invasion. We got people getting killed in Oakland, in Chicago, homeless, gun violence, education, political violence. But here, let's send billions to Ukraine. All these people have no issue with it. All these people have no issues with it. But if you say y'all send 7.2 billion to Ukraine, how about y'all just send 1 billion to Black neighborhoods? They have an issue with it. They'd rather help out a neo-Nazi country that they never been to. How many people went to Ukraine or even plan on going to Ukraine? You probably don't know anybody, but nobody is outraged over billions going over there. But just mention the word reparations. And they say, I don't own any slaves. My family never owned any slaves. I didn't bomb anybody in Ukraine, right? Did any of y'all bomb anyone in Ukraine? No, but you on the hook for it for taxpayer dollars. And people are okay with that. They just ain't okay with reparations for blacks.
Oh, we got somebody in the back. Hey!
What's
Yay!
good, family?
OG,
What's good?
Streets, how you doing?
Man,
I'm
OG, we
good.
building,
How
we
y'all
building
doing?
right now.
I'm all right.
Doing
How you
good.
Y'all
doing?
building?
Yeah, we building right now, OG.
Man,
Let me respectfully
I,
put you to the top real quick.
I know I'm late checking in, but I just want to check in before I call it a night. I just came from a comedy show, so that's why my homeboy Godfrey was in town, so I had to go check him out, you know.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's the man. Salute to
You
Godfrey.
have a good time?
I had a great time. Yeah, yep.
Yes.
He crazy. I remember him from the old days though. So I always get the little inbox at, I'm in your town, sis. So, I come and hang out and support,
That's what's up,
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah. How y'all doing tonight? Salute to the chat.
We're doing pretty good.
All right.
Thank you for asking.
Good.
Yeah, we're just chilling,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I came in on the conversation. I know it sounded really, really serious. So y'all go ahead and rock. I'ma just chill.
Woo!
Okay.
This no, OG Patricia, this is actually a perfect topic for you too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know what the topic is, but this is perfect.
What's the topic?
All right, M3.
So the topic is, let me go ahead and put up. So when all else fails, should we allow the streets to step in for our communities? Think about it real quick before I break it down.
So when all else fails, should we allow the streets to come in and you said and take the community?
No, to step in for our communities.
Step in. Well, honestly, back in the day, that's kind of how it was done, but that, the streets ain't the same anymore and people's agendas are different now, right? So do you mean your community good or do you mean your community harm? Because if you wreaking havoc on your community, then we don't want you to step up and be the community activist or be the community leadership or anything like that, right? We want you to get the hell out the community. If you wreaking havoc, if you wreaking havoc on it, right? We don't need you there, So like, what you gonna do as far as being a part of your community? Are you gonna be a part of the problem or are you gonna be a part of the solution? That's the question.
And a lot of times people become more of the problem than the solution. But at that moment, people feel like, okay, well, who can I really turn to? What can I really do? If you're in a situation where you want justice for someone that you dearly love, and then the system, the police system or the justice system fail you, then it feels like, well, dang, man, now I got to take it to the streets. I got to take it to like a level that's going to put me in a space where I'm going to have to just do the leash myself or get justice for myself, and they do this by all means.
Yeah, back in the day, we called that vigilante justice, right? Where, or let the hood. We'll say let the hood take care of them, right? If somebody was acting a fool in the neighborhood and doing wrong or committing crimes against, elderly or veterans or children or women. I came from a era and a place where there was protection from the men for that. Like if they found out a man was a pedo in the hood, whew, you better hope you better hope you lucky enough to make it to the jail or to the hospital. Because listen, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nothing nice. So times has changed. You know, times has changed. People have changed. People's agendas have changed, and it's and a lot of the activists out here now are charlatans. They just out here. They want to be famous. You know what I mean? They in it for the wrong reasons, for the money, for the clout. For because it's the public and the taxpayers mostly, that is paying their salaries for them to live mighty good. But they get caught up in a lot of wannabe celebrities and not really resolving community problems, things that really can hit the community, uh, on a level like right in the heart of the community where the problem lies. See, that's where they don't solve it. That's where the community don't come together to solve it. We were builders of our own communities. I stayed on blocks when somebody moved out. We made sure that apartment or that house stayed kept up. There was no abandoned buildings on the block, to leave it the opportunity for crime or things of that nature. So it's just different, different era, different time. People got different agendas now, man. They own a whole nother thing, and it's hard. And it's not that community activists are not out there doing it and protecting, because there's things called New Era Detroit, New Era Las Vegas, which I know the head of the New Era's Las Vegas when I was out there living out there. So it is people boots on the ground. But the thing about it is that these people that really out here grinding and doing the work on that level, they don't get the shine. They don't get the shine that the people that is in it for the wrong reasons get, that ain't, they'll come out when it's in media real high so they can get the clout for it. But the people that's really boots on the ground in the urban neighborhoods, especially the low impoverished, that's feeding the hungry, that's giving school drives and doing things, them people get caught and lost in the shuffle behind the big people, that they want to be in front of the TV or on the news speaking loud and talking loud and saying nothing, that type of stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Because we,
Yes, ma'am.
we we all know that marching and protesting gets very little done for us, and we've been doing it for so long. And I used to be a part of that, but you start to see that very little gets done from doing that. They don't change any laws on our behalf. They're not giving people black folk any tangibles or anything like that. So you got to find another way to beat the system. And
Right.
one is become a part of the solution. One is if you won't change, you got to be a part of the change. If you see that it is crooked politicians that's pushing certain agendas in your communities, you gotta go to the meetings. You gotta show up. You gotta be at the table. You gotta be in the rooms. You gotta ask the hard questions. And that's a lot of times what we're not doing.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. 100%. Yes.
hmm Hey guys, I'm gonna let y'all continue to rock out. I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. But OG Patrice, I'm glad to see you up on here. Thank you for coming
I'm
in.
glad to see you, OG Patrice.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
yeah.
problem. Y'all cooking, so I'm gonna head on back down
No, you can
and
stay. You're more than welcome to
and
stay
listen to
up here.
y'all cook. No, I'm good. I gotta go anyway because I was driving, so I'm heading in the house and get ready for a long day tomorrow. I got a long day ahead, but I just wanted to come up and show support and love to the panel. Salute to you guys. Salute to the chat, and just any words of wisdom that I can give. I always try to be an inspiration or motivation and inspire my people because that's what I love to do most of all, more than anything.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
most definitely.
Thank you. And thank you so much, OG Patrice. Thank you.
hmm
Uh, All right, you guys have a good night.
All right. You
You have
too.
a good night.
Okay, bye bye.
All right.
All right, fellas, man. I'm gonna let y'all rock if y'all want to keep talking, but if not, man, we could close it out. What y'all want to do?
Well, it's up to y'all. I mean, if y'all still willing to go some more, I mean, we could.
What about
Be
you, Be
easy.
Easy?
It's the best. I don't mind. It's up to y'all, though. Yes, I'm willing to talk some more. I'm not
Yeah,
even
it's up
tired.
to y'all. I mean, you could shut it down or whatever, bro.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do this though, right? Just for the sake of time of everyone. Yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and shut it down though. But yes, greetings and definitely salutations. Thank you for tuning in, OG Patrice. Let me see, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox. Are you still here?
Yeah, because this ain't just a one-off topic. You know what I mean? We need a lot of work in our neighborhood because we don't even have communities. We just have hoods and
Mm-hmm.
where Black people populated. You know what I mean? But ultimately, these discussions like that is what will allow us to, you know, actually build back up the block, you feel me, and actually have valuable communities where we appreciate and value one another, investing in human capital. You want to invest in a Mercedes, you know what I mean? You want to invest in some shoes and a belt, but you want to invest in your fellow brother, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or sister.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You gotta
Yeah.
change that.
We gotta change that fast, man.
Mm-hmm. Salute to Mr. Glucose. Thank you for tuning into the chat. Let's see, we got some night riders up in here, man.
Mr.
You know?
Glucose, what's up, man?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Hey,
ain't
to
Yeah.
seen you
DJ
in
Eddie King point, I
a
mean, I want I want to early his earlier point. I mean, I've always been talking about this, but like I definitely want to implement somehow the challenge, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's going to be a currency and a distribution challenge, bro, where it's like, look, you need to share X amount of resources with people. You know what I mean? I can
yeah.
give DJ Eddie King $20, right? And say,
Mm-hmm.
look, here, I'm supporting you. DJ Eddie King could break that $20 down and say, hey, I'm gonna give 10 to Mr. Intellectual Soapbox, 10 to M3.
Mm-hmm.
M3 finds some help and like, you know what, I'm gonna donate to Queen's platform. And then hey, Queen is like, you know what, I'm gonna donate to First Lady By the time that money that circulated to Mr. Best, DJ Eddie King, Be Easy got a little bit of it, Big Rig, you know what I mean? That's how we supposed to do, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Find a reason to support, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
you know, find
Mm-hmm.
a way to save so that that money could come back to us. You know what I mean? We'll find a way to spend the money on another community. How about you find a way to spend it in with the family? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about like, man, this the fifth time this week I supported M3 and he only supported me 3 times. Like that's not what you're supposed to do it for. It's not supposed to be tit for tat.
Yeah.
M3 might support me with $10 and I might support him with 20.
Yeah.
Should I bite his head off? He didn't support the same amount as me. You know what I mean? I
Right.
might get DJ Eddie King 4 video games and he got me 1. Is he a bad friend because he didn't get me as many games as I got him? Like we always got to stop always looking for what I'm gonna get. What have you given?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You need to focus on.
Right.
If you get enough, you won't even worried about. I don't even. If I help y'all out with something, you know what I mean? If y'all want to shoot me something, cool, I'll be appreciative of it. But bro, I'm not gonna lose sleep. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lose sleep over it because you only supposed to borrow, you only supposed to loan and give away things that you expect to never see. So if M3 say, hey, let me borrow $100, I'm expecting him to keep his word and give it back. But I shouldn't loan him that money unless I'm fully expecting to lose that money. So that
Exactly.
way, if he don't pay me back, it costs me $100 to know that he was fake. Or if he do pay me back, I mean, why wouldn't I loan my family member $100? You know what I mean? So like, what are we really talking about here, bro? They
Right.
say it's better to give than receive, but how many people got their hand out to receive? Right?
Yeah.
You keep talking about give, but you ain't giving nothing.
Right. And I want to talk about what Joshua Jackson said. He said buying farmland will release our people. Then he said we need family bank by the block and farmland. What do you think about that? M3 or Easy?
Well, I
You're
agree
muted,
to
M3.
Oh, I was trying to look for. Okay, we need to buy. We need Family Bank. Buy the no. Okay, he's something like kind of like how like the
I know.
Nipsey Hussle way. You know, you buy the community so that way the money could circulate for the community. As long as our own people don't destroy us for doing so, that's a good start at how to use that as leverage. We got a lot of people. Okay, let's see.
In terms of, I mean, a lot of this stuff is
Mhm.
easier said than done. Like, because, even look at the black farmers now, they're advocating for Biden, like, hey, bro, help us out. We need help. And
Right.
he ain't helping them, but he's helping all the other farmers. And then in certain areas where we may say, hey, look, let's buy this block back since we don't currently own it and all these other groups are against black empowerment, then they can crank up the rents, they can crank up the properties and do all of this type of stuff. So while I'm saying it's not impossible, the task is very daunting, which is why we have to have these conversations more consistently, more seriously, more fervently, and we got to be more codified because if we are divided by Crips and Bloods, Christians, Muslims, and
Mhm.
atheists, East Coast, West Coast, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Conservative, liberal, you know what I mean? He's a Raiders fan, he's a Packers fan. If we always find these reasons to divide, we can forget about farmland, we can forget about a bank, and let's just say hypothetically, we do have the farm and we do have the bank. It's not going to just be all kumbaya and sandals there. You're impeding on someone else's market share, and people are willing to like literally lay blood, spill blood over this type of stuff. If we're not
Mhm.
willing to do the same to protect our family and the rights, privileges, and values of our people, then we're not even serious at all. You know what I mean? Like, if you're
Mhm.
not prepared to die at any moment, then you haven't lived enough yet. It doesn't mean that you want to die. I don't want to die today. But if you're not prepared for that, if you don't even discuss the inevitability of your death date, you're not serious about it, bro.
Right.
You're not
Right.
serious
Right.
about what we're trying to this movement into.
Yes,
Even
sir.
Mhm.
Malcolm X was saying, hey, look, I don't expect to dies at some old geriatric age. You know what I mean? I'm willing to put myself out there for that. A lot of these dudes and women in society, this is not just limited to the black community, but I'm black, so I'm speaking on us. A lot of us is just don't have the mental fortitude. A lot of us is physically, mentally, and intellectually weak and soft. We
Yes.
had these dudes, Fred and Huey Newton. These dudes was in their 20s when they was doing that. A lot of dudes is in their 30s and 40s. They didn't have no iPhones, no social media. How was they able to organize Black Panther rallies nationwide? Meanwhile, cats got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of this stuff, and you can't even organize a book drive. You can't
Right.
organize a backpack drive. You know what
That's
I mean? I
crazy.
don't want to hear
Mhm.
none of this complaining and shit. The dudes that
Mhm.
had less than you doing more than you. Bro, we got more tools than Martin Luther King could ever dream of. That doesn't mean that you're Martin Luther King,
Right.
but you actually could do something bigger than he ever done. And people be like, hey, I'm not MLK. You don't need to be. You don't need to be Malcolm X. They already laid the blueprint for you
Yep.
so that you
Yep.
don't have to even create the blueprint. All you got to do is put the plan into action.
And that's it.
That's all you got to do.
Yep.
And who is stopping you? That's the only person stopping you is you. Yes, there are going to be
Mhm.
outside forces and stuff, but look, if we are on the team, if we are the team warriors and we going against the Celtics and the
Mhm.
Rockets and the Kings, we need to be like, look, you need
Yes.
to be able to trust DJ Eddie. When I pass him the ball, he gonna hit that three. When
Yep.
I kick it to M3, you feel me? Or if my man blow past me, M3 is gonna be covering me for the block. This is what we need to do. Your race, your ethnic group is your team. I'll
Yes, it
say the black
is.
people as the Lakers. Doesn't matter how much you want to be a Celtic, you always gonna be a Laker.
Mhm.
Start working with your team. Start seeing how you can be a better player, right?
Mhm.
If I'm good at rebounding, I'ma say, hey, if I get better at 3-point shooting, This is what will help my team. DJ Eddie King might be good at playing defense, but if he get better on offense, that's how he could help our team. We need to be able to identify our strengths and be stronger with them. Look at our weaknesses and stop being weak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, real quick, I want to let you guys continue to rock out, man, because this conversation is still getting good, and folks are still tuning in. So I think Mr. Intellectual Soapbox probably still stepped out for a minute, but hey, but you guys are all mods, so whenever y'all feel like y'all want to close out, feel free to do.
Well, but you gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for work tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit. It's up to y'all. What y'all want to do?
I was gonna let y'all rock out, bro.
Be easy.
I mean, it's up to y'all. I mean, I'm ready either way, you know what I mean, to stay on or to stay off. If we do stay on, I'm not gonna stay on too much longer because I got some other stuff, but
okay.
It's whatever the general consensus is.
Well, you know what? It's probably good to close out because I got somebody that's going to try to do timestamps anyway, so I don't want to be too long for them. But yeah, anyways, man, thank you everyone for tuning into like Knowledge and Relationships.
Shout out Patrice, shout out John Sinatra, but like you said, M3, this is a discussion. This ain't no one off, right? It ain't like I talked to DJ Eddie King and we came up with all the solutions for the community. Like, nah.
Yes, sir.
Right, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a lot more to be discussed.
It's a lot more to be discussed.
News, mental intellectual soapbox on Be Easy That Dude channel, easily rigged.
Yes.
On ladies.
DJ that dude.
Man,
we got a lot going on, man. We got a lot going on.
What's up, right?
Oh, Mr. Intellectual Soapbox is back.
Yeah, I had to step away, y'all. I'm gonna step away for a second.
No problem.
Also, y'all look forward this Saturday to Ladies' Night, y'all. Ladies' Night will be back with a fresh new topic. Okay, please be ready, y'all. The ladies will be bringing the heat, hosted by Cubila. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna be bringing that heat, y'all. So please be ready. All right, Ladies' Night is coming back this Saturday. Be ready, y'all. Stay tuned. Tune in. You know what I mean? We definitely gonna keep it, rocking and popping for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And we got a whole new topic, fresh out the box for y'all, man. That's gonna be bringing the heat on. So look forward to that, y'all.
All right, for sure, man. So, but anyways, man, I'm about to go ahead and close it out. But anyways, man, everybody take care and definitely have like a good night.
All right.
Later,
everybody.
All right, later.
Peace.
Knowledge and relationships.